Hello, it is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. And the volume's not too loud, so we're good. Hey, everybody, how you doing? What are you doing? How's it going? What is happening? Origami Shuriken, hello. I want to see. Okay, I think. Oh, Rissa resubbed. I see that right now on my little seeing thing. I have a little thing where I can see things, and I see that Rissa resubbed. Oh, I should tell you, I'm Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole, and we're playing Outer Worlds today. But really, at the moment, we're gonna sing the name game. I have things I want to talk to you about, but we're gonna sing the name game. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bow out of B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Rissa, 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 Bobissa, banana, fanna, fofissa, fee, fi, mo, missa. Rissa. Thank you for the resub, Rissa, but I was just thinking, as I was singing that right now, I was thinking, what if professional wrestlers also sang the name game, like during their entrance? Like, what if, like, there was a wrestler or many wrestlers or all the wrestlers who would sing the name game as their entrance music? I feel like that would be cool. They would probably do their own name. Don't you think? Like, I feel like they probably would. I'm just saying. Oh, we're totally gonna do gameplay today. I want you to know it. I did have session 0 for Kolos yesterday. I was supposed to have 2 City of Light and Shadow, which is the French Resistance campaign that I run on this channel, and we will have episode 1 next Friday. And I was supposed to have 2 session 1s yesterday, session 0s yesterday, but I'm having one today after this stream. We'll have the second one tomorrow, later today. They would sing Punching Face. Keep that in mind for your area thing. Yes. So what are we doing? Oh, there was a thing I probably should have done, and I never do it, and I didn't do it again, but I'll do it. So what's up? Let me tell you what's up. One, I sent off the January Patreon post, which is open to everyone, which I should post in the Discord so that people, if they don't know, they can know. Hey, Barontor, how are you? So yes, so the January Discord Patreon, the January Patreon article is up. You could go there and see it if you like. I am glad to be back. I've missed you all. So I did a bunch of stuff there. What else do I want to tell you? There's a Patreon exclusive post. I think there are a total of 3 Patreon exclusive posts total, and there's also a Patreon exclusive post that went up also the day before, so you can see that one, and that is a Atomica. Atomica. Atomica, I have to tell you something. It's really serious. I don't know if you're ready to hear what I have to tell you. I mean, it's really serious. I hope you're ready for it. It's what I wanted to tell you was the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B. Then I say the name. Then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time. And there isn't a name that I can't rhyme. Atomica, 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 banana, fana, Atomica, fee, Atomica. Atomica. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't plug in my controller. How am I supposed to play if I don't plug in my controller? That seems unwise. Atomica, you are not in trouble. I'm just messing with you because because I'm a GM. You know what I mean? And sometimes as a GM, that's what you do. You just, for love, you mess with people. That's all. And I'm just saying that is also gonna happen soon. I mean, hey, Lauren Danger. Hello. Lauren Danger, I have a question for you. It's important. I mean, it's not important, but it is a thing. I have a question. Do you know this song, Hey Volus Dude? How Elderly Rose managed to confuse massive bat logo, letter S, and many other Spider-Man, but you show Spider-Man movie that's Batman. I don't even understand that one. I understand what you're saying. I don't understand what your relatives are doing. I mean, because here's the thing. Superman's from the 1930s. Do you know what I mean? Like, and Spider-Man's like a golden age Marvel. So he's what, the 1960s? And Batman's also from the 1930s. So I feel like your elderly relatives are probably not 130. They should know. Well, let's say they're 10 and 19. Yeah, so they're not 100. I feel like you're 90. They're not 90. 100. They're not 100. 101. They should know the difference. Those are my thoughts. Chipper and anyone else's tolerance of my nonsense always amazing. What kind of nonsense? I was going to take a Smiths reference, but hey, there's a light that will never go out. Also, I've come to wish you a happy birthday. Hey, Mrs. Barentor. We're glad to see... Oh, yeah. It's so good. And by the way, I got this Ale 81 from Barentor and Mrs. Barentor. They sent it to me. This is a special soda that is from Kentucky, and you know it's from Kentucky. By the way, be right, I see you. Because it says, best of the bluegrass in green glass. And it's from 1926, which means you know it's for me, because I'm a vampire, and I'm old. This is, so it's like ginger ale with citrus in it. And I love it. But also, you just can't get this everywhere. I had never heard, I didn't even know it existed until I was given this as a gift. But it's from 1926. So I'm happy. Happy enough. B Right says, how close are we to 2 years? 2 months to go. Hello. So Trooper, I have a new love in my life that I can't get enough of. Atomica. Is it Orville Peck? Is it ginger ale? Probably that's not new. Is it, what is your new love? By the way, be right, I'm still getting on you. Verum knows it. Oh, it's Ale 81. It's not Ale 81? Right, because there's a little tagline on it, which you can see, it's a late one. And so I imagine it's Ale 81. That's a weird rhythm. Ale 81. Ale 81. Ale 81. I wonder. So the tagline is a late one. So do I pronounce it a late one? Like a late one? Or do I say Ale 81? Or do I say Ale 81? Or Ale 81? Like, what's the rhythm? what's the proper rhythm of that phrase? Am I supposed to say it like I'm saying a late one, but I'm really saying a late one, but but you don't know? Or am I not supposed to say that? I don't know. You like things from 1926 because they're no longer copyrighted. I think we're at 25. No, we might. Are we in 1925, 1926? People. Oh, I wonder if I could. It's 2021, right? I just have thoughts. I have Cola's thoughts, and it's all Krellin's fault, by the way. It's all Krellin's fault. It's not bad. Don't worry about it. Actions. A bottle from 1906 is probably past its expiration date. Maybe not. We don't know. You discovered the Beatles musical. No. This is a soda. Ice Bunny. It's a soda. It's a soda. Ale 1. Why was 2 afraid of ale? Because ale 1. It's right. It's a syncopated soda. Yes. Yep. It is a weird rhythm. Oh, it is okay. It's a weird rhythm. That's it. I think I've watched like 8 times this week. Pirating is bad. There's no way to watch it right now. Ale 1. Ale 1. A lot of folks just call it Ale 8. Oh, Ale 8. Ale 8. Don't let me forget about musicals and pirating, but the name game. I love it when B Right subscribes, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Here's the reason why I love it when B Right resubs. But if the first 2 letters are ever the same, I drop them both, then say the name. I like Bob. Bob, drop the B's, Bo, or Fred. Fred, drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary. Mary, drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be right, bo, E right, banana, fana, fo, fee right, fee, fi, mo, me right. Be right. Be right. There's that song. Why don't you do right? Why don't you do right all day, woman? Woman, there'll be a do right all night, man. You know the song? It's actually about Be Right. I don't know if you knew that. It was originally I'll be like a Be Right all day, right? But that's what was originally, but they rewrote it because people didn't know who B Right was yet. Because I'm actually not quite certain that B Right was born. I think what happened was that a psychic foretold the birth of B Right UK back in the 60s and then wrote this soul song. But then everyone was like, who's B Right? We don't understand what that is. And they just changed it to Do Right because, you know, B Right wasn't born yet. It's a true story. I'm just letting you know the truth. That's how it is. When I read some too, you may say it thrills me to bits. Does it thrill you to bits? You know what that means. You know what that means. Mrs. Barentor, thank you. Wait, Nightbot, you did not attack Mrs. Barentor, did you? Because that would be inappropriate, and I would not even be happy about that. That's all I'm saying. How could I was thinking like the universe had a hiccup? Oh no, I do not like beer. I like soda, but I don't like beer. Stripper loves it when Be Right subscribes, says Krellin, because it's if the first 2 letters are ever the same, you drop them both and then say the name, which is true. You do. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Ale 8, the Ale 8. Ale 8. Oh, so good, so good. Oh, wait. Mrs. Barentor is already a regular? Sally was born in 1957, so you may be closer than you think. So actually, it was actually just written for you. Well, that makes sense. But also, Be Wrong Bee, Be Wrong Bee has just subscribed for the first time, and I'm very this is very frenetic. I like it. Thank you, Lauren Danger. People, do not let me forget about Lauren Danger, because I want to tell Lauren Danger something about their name. So don't let me forget. But I have to sing 2 songs first. This is really important. This is important. Be Wrong is not from the UK. Oh, that's fair. They're from Belgium? BE? Belgium, right? Or is Belgium just a B? You know, in a lot of the world that's not the United States, they have these little white stickers that go on that you put on your car with they're white with like a black letter in it, and the letter will tell you the name of the country that the car is from. Like in Europe, everybody has them. So like there's a D for Germany, Deutschland, and then like F is France, and like the big countries just get one letter, but then like the smaller countries have like more than one. And yeah, so I think BE is Belgium, right? Right? Yes. So the name game, and don't let me forget about Lauren Danger. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first 2 letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name. I like Bob. Bob drop the B's, Bo, or Fred. Fred drop the F's for Red. Oh, Mary, Mary drop the M's, Mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be Wrong B. Be Wrong, Be Wrong, Be Wrong, Be Wrong, Be Bo. Be Wrong B. Be Wrong B, Be Wrong B, Bo, E Wrong B, banana, fanafo, Fee Wrong B, Fee, Fi, Mo, Me Wrong B. Be Wrong B. Almost got me, but I got there. So UK's changed from GB to LSR. Really? Wait. The UK's changed from GB to LSR. Why LSR? Why? Vulpus says, I find it great that Trooper is worried about trademark brand name not being syncopated properly. Because you want to get it. Look, there was an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and one of the queens got sent home. I think partially because she couldn't get the rhythm of a phrase properly right. I'm just saying. So what kind of flavor? It's a ginger ale with a little bit of citrus. But Be Right gave us bits, and when we get bits here, I sing the song "We're in the Money," which I'm sure you all know. It goes, we're in the money, we're in the money. We've got, come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Thank you, BP Phantom, for the raid. The host, welcome in. Isn't one of the queens getting sent home the entire point? It is, but I think that she got sent home because she had the wrong rhythm in a phrase. They're doing an acting challenge, and she's supposed to say, like, we were rooting for you. Like, oh, we were rooting for you. But she kept saying, we were rooting for you. And like, that's just like the wrong rhythm. It's like when I was in that play in high school, and one of my fellow actors on stage had to say, oh yeah, I was reading about it in the ladies' home journal, in the ladies' home journal. But she kept saying, I was reading about it in the ladies' home journal. And we're like, no, that's not how you say that. It's like the Ladies' Home Journal, like the Ladies' Home Journal. And you're like, nope, no. And it was weird. And we kept saying Ladies' Home Journal, Ladies' Home Journal. And she kept saying Ladies' Home Journal, Ladies' Home Journal. And that's just the wrong rhythm. And it threw everybody off all the time because it was weird. And so sometimes if you just get the rhythm wrong of the phrase, it just stops making any sense. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's just all I'm saying. A prime example of a modern major general. Was she clapping on the upbeat and said that she might have been? So I'm going to sing We're in the Money, as sung by Ginger Rogers in the film Gold Diggers of 1933. Which means I'm going to sing it in Pig Latin. Irway and hey, the anime. Irway and hey, the anime. Iwayakele atwayo, voyakwe, exuted, gale on wayo. Irway and hey, the anime. The ice skates are on, he say. Oh man, the ocean brew, we must stay on way hungry. Even eat red lands late, halfway at Brian's late, today. And we see the only order look left the agger in the eye. We're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Oh, it's so exciting. I had so many things I want to tell you all. It's sort of madness, really. I don't even know what else to tell you. But there were things I'm supposed to be telling you right now. Lauren Danger. That's the thing I need to tell you. I will not forget that one because I almost did, but I'm not going to. So, Lauren Danger. Your name is Lauren Danger. I know that because I could read it. The other day, I was introduced to a song that I did not know before, and the music video for said song, and I had never seen that before, and it's somewhat intriguing. It's a music video, and you think, is this really happening right now? Is this my life? Is it just going to be like this forever? When are they going to stop kissing in this video? Why are they kissing like that? Why is this happening? Why is this my life? But it's also super, super catchy. By the way, I'm finding the link to it right now so that everyone else can see it and not just me, because I feel like everyone, if I saw this video, I feel like other people have to see this video. And I'm just gonna put it in chat so that I'm not the only one who knows it. So Lauren Danger, I need you to buy a field. So it's Lauren Dangerfield. No, that would be fair. So would it turn into a battlefield? It's the song is Danger High Voltage by Electric Six. Danger, danger, high voltage. You just have to watch it, and then it'll forever be in your mind. Lauren knows that song already. Woo! All right, good. Thank you. It is a super fun song. It's super fun. Oh, it was a huge hit. Okay, nice. I'm so glad that people know this song. So you want us to share your pain or joy? Both. Yeah. It's good. It's in their playlist. Yeah, they're the ones who did Gay Bar, but this is their Danger High Voltage, and I love this song, and the video I also love because it's weird in a way that I think is awesome. The woman in the video had no idea it would turn out looking so sexual, or so she claims. I have questions about that. People say all sorts of things. And I'm called Lauren Danger because I was an electrical public safety instructor, so it's appropriate. Ooh, so you know about the high voltage. Lauren Danger, I suspect that if there were some kind of zombie apocalypse or some sort of apocalypse, we would probably want you on our team, because I imagine as an electrical public safety instructor, you would be able to use your vast knowledge to electrocute zombies, to lure them, like you would, like first off, you'd keep us safe from down power lines, but then I imagine you could get rid of the zombies through your knowledge of down power lines and like what to do and what not to do when they're around. And so then we wouldn't die. We're just gonna, by the way, start up the game while we're talking about all this stuff. That's just what we're gonna do. I feel like that's true. Ice Bunny has to do a bit of cooking. Do it. I would be happy to be on your team, Trooper, and we can, and I can both zap zombies and hit them with maces. Okay, so here's the thing, Lauren, being able to zap them and hit them with maces. By the way, oh, if you all don't know this, oh, hold on. Now I need to get a new YouTube thing. Hold on. So for those of you who do not know, Lauren Danger makes these really, really cool videos about, I wonder if I can just, let me see, hold on. Where are you? Oh, I have so, I'm gonna just have to look through my subscriptions, unless Lauren gets there before I do. Wait, so why are my subscriptions not alphabetical, right? Because that would make, oh, Mr. B, the Gentleman Rhymer. I haven't looked at him in ages. Lauren has this amazing YouTube channel, which I'm looking through my far too many. I should probably unsubscribe to some of these people, shouldn't I? Like, I probably should, because she makes these really cool videos about like weaponry, and she just did one on maces, right? She just did one on maces, and I want you to wait. Somebody has the link. Well, somebody who has the link, and also, you know what? We're just gonna make you a regular, and then you can post. He said earlier he had to do another day. Oh, wait. Yes, there's one more session 0 today. Yeah, thank you, PH. So you should go and watch her videos. They are so cool, and I find them super, super fun. And oh, Mr. B's been doing a bunch of new stuff. I should go and relook at what Mr. B's doing, because I haven't watched him in a while. Look, I have 193 subscriptions on the YouTube, and I should not. You know what I mean? I should not. But that said, what I should do is sing the name game. That's what I think. Also, I think that I think that I'm right about that. Also, hey, Devil Crayon, I have to tell you something. It's just that I subscribe, you know what I mean, to the YouTube, and then I'm like, oh, cool. And then, but some of those subscriptions were like from like 1954, the early YouTube, when it was like the tubes were like, what do you call them? Tubes. What do you call them? Come on, like the radio, like, you know what anyway. Also, I'm being silly. Barentor says, Lauren's videos have been really informative and I'm digging them. Yeah, me too, right? Lauren Danger says, I have a lot of knowledge and experience with arms and armor, and there are very few ladies who do this, and I had to get in there and be zany. Pneumatic. Vacuum tubes. That's what I was thinking of, vacuum tubes. So we'll get like, it was the YouTube, but it was made with vacuum. Anyway, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treated like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B. Then I say the name. Then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Devil crayon, devil crayon, devil crayon, devil crayon, banana, fennel, devil crayon, fee, fi, mo, devil crayon. Devil crayon. What happened right, if you want to know what just happened right there, is that I didn't want to say devil crayon. I wanted to say devil crayon, but devil crayon is not rhythmically super great for the name game, because you'd have to go devil crayon, devil, I wanted to say devil crayon because that's how I would say it. Devil crayon, devil crayon. I'd have an emphasis on that first syllable, but I don't think that is real good for the name game. Is I devil crayon, devil crayon. Nope. The problem is like I can say it the first time, but I don't think I can sing it the second time because it's da 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 da. Because the thing is, it's syncopated, right? It's da 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 da. So like the phrase itself. Ooh. I suspect I feel music theory coming on, and I don't quite know what to do about that because I'm afraid it's going to happen. Back we all turned our dials, adjusted our antenna on the YouTubes. Yep, that's exactly what happened. The game is only 40 minutes in. Did you take any percussion course? You know, Beetlewinds, I mean, the game has started. I mean, it's on the screen, you know? I mean, I'm old enough to have been told by my dad to, we're on the way to Ellie's parents. We are. The thing is, though, actually, is that, first off, I have too many syllables to smash into a meter and also submit yes. Is it music theory about power to musicals? No, but thank you for reminding me. It'd be about syncopation. Don't put your gun up. Put your gun away. Wait. Devil crayon, devil crayon, devil crayon, devil crayon, bo bevel crayon, banana fana, fo bevel crayon, fee fi mo mevel crayon. Devil crayon. I can do it. I don't like it, but I can do it. I don't like it though. Lindsay Ellis is about powered musicals. Also, Byzantium looks not good, everyone. Like, it looks bad. It doesn't look good. I've seen other space stations that look better than this. I don't mean to insult it or anything like that. I am just saying that it doesn't look good and have a level up. Your name is not a challenge. It's me. Pirate musical would be called Hoods and Wooden Legs. There was the pirate musical. It was called The Pirate Movie, right? With there were two pirate movies. There was Pirates of Penzance, which of course is the Gilbert and Sullivan operetta, but the movie had Linda Ronstadt in it. By the way, there's a documentary on Linda Ronstadt, and if you have not seen it, you should because it's amazing. But then there was also the pirate movie, which I feel like had Christopher Atkins, who was in the Blue Lagoon, and someone else. Was Muppet Treasure Island a musical? That's a very good question, because it's a very good question. It's a city. Oh, yeah, I suppose you're right. Well, we've been in cities that didn't have this much rubble in it. Just Ash, just splash, sanitize my glasses. Oh, no, 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 no. Do not harm yourself. Atomica, take care of your eyes. Yes. Ice Bunny asked the question if Berliner count as donuts. Where I'm from in Germany, we call them Krapfen, and the best equivalent in English is a jelly donut. So they're jelly donuts. Is what they are. The pirate movie is called Cutthroat Island. It was not good. Go take care of yourself, Atomica. No. Wait, I've got food addiction withdrawal right now? People, I'm addicted to food. I'm gonna eat some food because I'm apparently addicted to food right now, and it's making me saucy. So I'm gonna just have this purple berry bunch. No, I bet I can have like look, I'll just have this Raptidon meat. It's heavy, and I can eat it, and then I won't be affected by Raptidon food meat withdrawals. Also, they should just let me know. Christy McNichol. Oh, I love Chris McNichol. You took that on purpose. It seems like a thing everyone should have. Ich bin ein Fastnachtskrapfen. It was directed by Rennie Harlan from Finland. Oh. Huh. All right. Piracy. So, don't let me forget. Also, what was I going to go and increase my skills in? Was I going to go full out and persuade? But I feel like, was I going engineering? Was I going for my handguns more? what was I planning on doing? Was I going for more? I feel like my persuade's really good. Was I going for hacking or lock picking? Probably. I just. Oh yeah. Um, Sweet Lord Almighty, I rinsed my eye and felt it dry. Ooh, like my eye just feels dried. God damn out. It's like itching. Like, oh no. Do you have like eye drops? I just stepped out of my car and flash danced myself. Ooh, 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 Atomica. Be safe. Ooh. ODS, how are you? All this deliberation over food items has me imagining Trooper staring into a fridge at 3 in the morning. ODS, that. Is that accurate? We are going to Ellie's parents, but I have to figure out what I'm doing with my skills. I feel like that's not the case, mostly because my fridge doesn't normally have enough things in it that will give me analysis paralysis. My cupboards, however, often do. Just came in from the latest bonsai babe. Oh, bonsai is so amazing. Like, I'm not hoarding. No, my fridge is usually like sort of like sadly empty in a sad way. That's all. I can't throw that month-old milk. I might need for something. No. Look, if I go with, there are a lot of things I could just, if I, ooh, oh, yeah. Fridge equals echo chamber. Uh, well, we're doing, mm, um, I want to know what it is we planned. Were we just going to go full on engineering? Was that what we were doing? Yes. Yes. Or, you know what? We're just going to max out our persuade. That's it. That's just what we're going to do. That's it. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're um that's it. That's what we're doing. You're gonna lurk. Go. Okay, take care of yourself. Oh, wait. Atomica. All I was gonna say is that Lindsay Ellis has a video. No, it's not Lindsay Ellis. I lied to you. It's Sarah Zed. Sarah Zed has a YouTube video on piracy and musicals. I'm pretty sure it's Sarah Zed and not Lindsay Ellis, and it's really good. It's really good. I'm pretty sure it's Sarah Zed because she's a musical nerd. And you should all watch it because it's really good. It talks about the ethics of talks about the ethics of piracy in musical theater, specifically Broadway shows, and it talks about the ways in which musicals are often just not available, right? Like you can't see them because musicals, right? They're just yeah. This is it. It's from a year ago, and it's on the title is the weird world of theater bootlegs. It's all about theater bootleg culture, and it's about, right, the fact that there are a number of shows that only got popular because people are watching bootlegs, because not everybody lives in New York City or near New York City, and like the different sort of positions and thoughts about bootlegging theatrical pieces. Devil Crayon says, my partner and I were recently talking about maces and morning stars because a show we were watching showed the mythical one-handed military flail and called it a morning star. Kuldrick says, as an engineer of minimal usage, I'd advise caution. However, spaceship upkeep and engineering survival can be handy. Lawrence says, by the way, flails are a huge topic, and usually what gets included in shows are more Victorian fantasy than medieval reality. Well, Lauren Danger is just pointing out the fact that Victorians had a lot of fantasy about things that we all think of as accurate and historical, but we're not. We're not. It's like 90s phantoms. Yes, it is. It's like 90s phantoms anime. Yeah. The Victorians were, that's all I'm gonna say. um, but it's funny, right? Because she talks about the ways in which there are shows who are like, well, we would rather not have, oh, hey, I can get whatever I want. Um, we'd rather not have bootlegs out there because the bootlegs aren't of good quality, and so we would rather wait until we could actually release a really good version rather than have like a poor version out there. But most shows don't actually release DVD versions of their shows at all, so oftentimes that's the only way you'll get access to it. Yeah, yeah, that's all you can say. That's all I can say about the Victorians. You're like, on the plus side, I feel like the mid 1890s had some pretty killer women's fashion. Uh, like 1893 to like 95, 96, 97, like that 4 year span of clothing was when there was a fitness craze, and women started wearing clothes that would not kill them. They had like the big, mutton chop sleeves, which allowed them to lift their arms above their heads, because what they're wearing in the 1880s, the cuts in women's jackets in the 1880s were such that they couldn't really raise their arms. But like there was a whole thing, like women were bicycling, right? So there was a whole thing about these mutton chop sleeves, which allowed women to full motion of their arms. And then right, like just sort of slightly more manageable outfits. So that, and they looked pretty good. And also that was what was being worn in the Anne of Green Gables series, if anybody watched that from back in the day, with Colleen Dewhurst and the woman who played Anne of Green Gables. It's the one from like the 80s. It's like a Canadian miniseries, like, or a series of. I know I'm not the only person who watched Anne of Green Gables because the fashion was amazing. I know I'm not the only person. Megan follows. Thank you, Megan follows. She was so good. She was so good. Thank you, thank you. The Edwardians were only marginally better. That's fair. The Victorians were somewhat Victorian, I fear, although I do get confused reading news about the Australian state containing Melbourne. That's fair. Ooh, pancakes. Ooh, love that. Ooh, I had a chicken and waffles the other day, and that was delish. Flails for when you're a farmer, but still conservative fight, says Cher. Mm-hmm. They wore arsenic clothing. That reminds me, I need to put my chili in the crock pot. I need to put chili in the crock pot, but I need to put chili in my Instapot, but I do not have any of the supplies to make chili. That's it. Odia says, the Victorians were often wrong, but they did spark a lot of curiosity about things and a lot of cultural evolution. Their methods weren't always the best, but I would argue it was a vital transitionary period. And, there was a lot of really good science fiction in the Victorian era, right? And some good clothes. Full motion of their arms. How dare you? Oh, yes, I was crying my eyes out when Matthew died. Yeah, me too. Canadian gal. Oh, okay. Lauren, so then you must have watched it, right? You must have watched it, because I did. Watched it. Oh, you went to the location on Prince Edward Island? How was it? It does. I think it is a failure to properly plan for chili. How can you not have always keep canned tomatoes and beans? But also, I have to make sure I have the right spices. Last Stand could be good, by the way. A headshot kills explodes. Oh, we wanted that one because that seems fun to have. But how many people hang out in large groups? Your next attack after killing an enemy is guaranteed critical. That sounds fun. I should probably do that, right? But armor is probably also good. Let's maybe go with the armor, because I feel like that's probably good for me since I do sometimes get shot. Your range attacks reduces by no, let's get this one. Let's get the reducing their armor one, because I feel like that's good. Yes. Yeah. Let's do exploding headshots. We're just gonna do that. I feel like I'll never trigger this though, but we're gonna do it anyway because we're gonna do it. That's it. That's it. I was greatly cheered up when Warehouse 13 showed that H.G. Wells was a woman who worked for Warehouse 12. Oh, that was a good show. The Warehouse was a really good show. Um, ooh, food. Mm. Also, the concept of childhood, marrying for love, and an increased distribution of wealth and primary education knowledge. Again, it all looks bad now, but it was progress. Um, oh, DS. There were also a lot of social reformers in the Victorian era, which was also really good. Um, Women's suffrage, right? Are we old now because we watched the real anime? Um, is the concept of marrying for love progress? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everybody would say that it is who lives in places in the current day that A, do not have arranged marriage, and B, who have been told for the last 100 and some years that marrying for love is the best thing ever. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's bad. That's not what I'm saying. Because I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that. But is the connecting of love and marriage, love and marriage, love and marriage, go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell ya, brother, you can't have one without the other. But is it? Is it progress? I mean, culturally, I am raised to say the answer is yes. That is what I'm culturally raised to do. Um, but I don't know. I'm not saying that you should. I feel like it sounds like I'm saying that you should be in loveless marriages, which is not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. It looked just like it did in the show, obviously, since that's where it was filmed in part, but nearby was modern. Oh, like, But Green Gables was a fully functioning town? Oh, wow. Hipster and of Green Gables fans. I'd argue no, but I am so old fashioned about some things. I come out the other way and become progressive. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just sort of wanting to put a little question mark on the conflation of those two things, and I'll tell you why in a second. Lauren says, I'm just mad at the antiquarians who guessed and called it fact before archaeology came along. Well, and early archaeology was just kind of grave robbing, really. But I can get past it. Suffrage and suffragettes were something, yes. Yes. I always get feeling of old when I enjoy the original. Younger ones only know the remake. But of course happens with us too. Married with children. I don't know if I would like marry a dude like Al Bundy as my hubby and a lot get in depth of the wedding. Love and marriage also has to include the discussion of sex and love, as having the baby is an important aspect of marriage. Although, but see, here's the thing. Pre-love and marriage, babies were still important, but you didn't have to love the person you were having sex with or even enjoy the sex if you didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, having babies was not necessarily connected to sexual desire. As a matter of fact, people had really weird ideas about women and sexual desire, for example, in the Victorian era. That was not a good one. That wasn't a good one. I can agree with that, ODS, and it gives me reason to make videos and educate. Yeah. You like the reference of Anne of Green Gables from 85. Anne of Green Gables is a 1985 Canadian made-for-television film drama based on the 1908 novel of the same name by Canadian author Lucy Maud Montgomery. We're just gonna get this one because sometimes my companions fall unconscious and sort of die, and so we're just gonna do that one. Like it's weird. That tends to be my stance. Curiosity usually begins with an assumption of ethnocentrism. You start with biases, but eventually gain a more balanced perspective. Or you don't, though. Like, I would hope that you gain a more balanced perspective. But some people were an empire for a very long time. And the thing is, if you do not humanize the people that you're interacting with, then you will not actually get a more balanced perspective. That's the problem, right? I think about slavery, right? People had slaves working in their homes their entire lives, but still did not humanize them and still treated them like property. So, like, sometimes it happens that living amongst somebody humanizes them for you, but then sometimes it doesn't. Chairman Rockwell and Minister Person, the team to lead Halcyon to an even... I should put my gun away. I like it when it does lead to humanization, because if you do not ever interact with people, you will never get that. But sometimes it doesn't. So this is an elevator, and we're not going to go there because I want to see all the rest of the stuff first before we go out onto the street. I want to know what... Oh, so retirees. Some people never give up their comfy... Yeah. Societal evolution. Shooting posters. Yeah. Although, again, like, societal-wise, right? I mean, there are a bunch of people who are like, empires and not good empires. And you're like, what's a good empire? But I mean, like, the Belgian Congo kind of bad empire. And, like, they didn't get curious and evolve. They, like, hacked off people's feet. It was bad. It was bad. I was at a point. I was going to tell you all something. Hello.
It feels like I've been waiting in line forever.
Wait, you're kind of young to be a retiree, aren't you? Are all these retirees really young? Is that a thing here? Probably. Hello.
I wonder if I'll get to meet Chairman Rockwell.
Is it just me, or maybe it's just they don't have really good different facial models?
Once I'm retired, I'm gonna drink all the zero-G I can handle.
Yes, Rissa, I can bring up the I wish I could bring up volume like with a cool button and be just like boop button, but I don't think I can. I wonder if I could. I don't think I can. Nothing ominous going on in this area. No, sir. Right? Humanization requires empathy, and if you don't see people as equal, you really can't empathize. Yeah. Early retirement is Prax, we were talking about you. We were not at all talking about you, but we were talking about history. And so I was thinking about you is what happened. Lauren was talking about antiquarians in the Victorian era. We were talking about love and marriage. So I was just in my, I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind, I was thinking about you because I was like, oh,
can you believe I'm retired?
we could have Prax here for this conversation.
Lucky me.
I'm guessing there are shenanigans afoot in this place. I think so too. You should be able to hear me. I see output, right? I mean, I see output. I see it. I feel like you can hear me, and thus I appear. I'm guessing there are exceedingly bad, but the lifespan of Belgian Empire was a drop in the bucket compared to the flow of human history and human histories of Blink. Oh yeah, totally. Isn't that so funny to think about the fact that we are just like a drop in the bucket? What sort of capitalist space allows people to retire? Probably, I just feel like if you're retiring in this kind of corporate hellscape, it's probably not good, is what I'm thinking. That again may be a product of my being raised for a very long view of time. Oh, yeah, no, I just have up the volume. So it was this ponderance if attaching love and marriage is a positive thing. I feel like it's a neutral thing. At least that's where I'm at the moment. Like, I think I'm neutral on it in the sense that I grew up being raised that being in love and being married are things to be connected, technically. But yeah, what if they are being Soylent Greened?
Can you believe I'm retiring? Lucky me.
No, I don't feel good about this at all, everyone, because they're like, oh, these are all people who are about to retire, i.e. I don't think any of these people are officially retired yet, and I feel like they're all gonna be Silent Greened, or they're all gonna be like Logan's Run. They're all gonna go to Carousel. They're like, oh, you retired, let's go to Carousel.
I wonder if I'll get to meet Chairman Rock.
Yeah, no, I feel real bad about this. I just, I don't, come to Carousel. And then I just feel like it's gonna be bad.
The law's really looking out for me.
Nope, again, and now I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
All my hard work's finally paid off.
I love in 40K, they eat a thing called Soylent Viridians, and when someone realizes it, it freaks out, and everyone else is like, yeah, we know, it's not a secret. Wouldn't you all like to retire? Chat, hooray for early retirement. But the songs in Carousel. Trooper should be loved, and etc., etc. Did you read that TLDR Twitter about the fellow in the photo? Yes, which led to the examination of his family. It made me all misty, and it made me... Coldrake, I want you to know that I was distracted yesterday for like 15 full minutes wanting to write a really long Twitter thread in response to that tweet that you sent me. Like, I wanted to write a whole Twitter thread about something, and then I didn't. And I thought maybe I'll tell you all in chat when I speak to you today. But there's like a Twitter thread that is lurking about that post, as a matter of fact. And about history. And I wanted to talk to you about it, but I don't, yeah. Although the union of leftists and free market capitalists in the past week, ownership of means of production through different strategies has been mind-blowing. Oh, yeah. I wish I could retire. Being made redundant sucks, yeah. Maybe Carousel's good compared to being a wage slave? Maybe. The fact that this place is such a dive and everyone is happy makes me think mind control or drugs or something bad.
The law's really looking out for me.
Like, this is not good. Sorry. I get so much hate for not being married and have kids. 21 years ago, my doc said, now you have to lose that. You can fight a dude. Yeah, I know. Oh, Logan's Run is one of my favorite movies too.
So what if all those MSI suits made it on Monarch this whole time? I could do it. Easy.
So about Logan's Run. So, keeping the puppies happy with drugs. Yeah. So I got Paranoia first edition.
A UDL security attendant is always prepared.
I got the first edition of Paranoia, the RPG, and I ran it and I loved it. But with each subsequent edition, they sort of got more goofy. There's a one edition in the middle that sort of like talked about tone. Logan's Run, Runner, Run Lola Run. And the thing is that I never ran Logan's Run as a slapstick comedy or super goofy, because there are a number of things that were influences on Logan's Run, like Paranoia, 1984, Logan's Run, Dr. Strangelove, a bunch of different things like that. And for me, my interpretation of Paranoia was never like broad ha comedy. It was more, one, there was kind of like a seriousness to it, because as you already know, I'm kind of a serious GM, but there was a seriousness to it that was influenced by how seriously I took Logan's Run. And there was dark satire, clearly, and there was some humor in dark satire, but it wasn't like I never ran it like I kind of ran it a bit more Dr. Strangelove. And I understand that some people just went super gonzo with it. Oh, well, apparently I need things that I do not have. Oop, we will find them. Yeah, in 1984. Yeah, and so I just ended up, I by the way, I really enjoyed Paranoia. I read it a couple of times and I really, really enjoyed it. Also, is anybody watching me right now? That person isn't. And so what if I accidentally lockpicked this? Like,
Great work.
thanks. Again, let's just, nope, that's a gun. I don't want, nope, oops. Well, okay, well, we're gonna just move away with our stolen goods. I meant to crouch but I forgot what the button was for crouch, and that wasn't it either. I have forgotten how to crouch because it has been 2 weeks. Nope. Nope. I forgot how to crouch. I always saw Paranormal more like the movie Dark Stars. Paranormal is the only game where I died for making a saving throw. Can't even remember what the rolls for. It's like 35 years or so. Yeah. I accidentally stole those things. I didn't. Hello, how are you? Putting the gun down. There's a way to crouch, and I forgot what it was, and it's not that. Oh, it wasn't that either. That really wasn't it. It's not that. Nope. Got it. Red circle. But okay, I got it. I just figured I'd better figure out how to do that before somebody actually accidentally starts shooting at me, because that would be awful. Oh no, they've retired to run an Amazon distribution center. Maybe don't congratulate me for breaking internet in public space. Yeah, right? Like, maybe just like don't say it out loud like that. Be cool. All right, we're gonna go up the elevator. Okay, so there was the thing that I didn't write the big long tweet thread about, and I don't know if I will, but I feel like Prax would be interested. You all might be interested in this thing, but I'm not going to tell you that right now, because I'm going to tell you the other thing first. I want to finish the thought about love and marriage. That's the thing I want to do. I want to finish the thought on love and marriage, and then I'll tell you about the other thing, which is about history. This feels late 50s cha-cha mambo craze. Yeah. Hey everybody. So I was thinking about love and marriage, right? And how, and Freightport. Yeah, so I wonder if I can just jump over here. I bet I could and maybe not die, but the question is, should I? Yes, no, I shouldn't. I should not try to jump over that railing. I probably can't even jump over the railing anyway. So, you know, there's probably no point even trying. So I'm not even going to try to do it. So I'm just not going to do it.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Feeling a little off balance?
And I think this was sprinting. This is jumping. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to.
Maybe see a erotic bits overhead.
I was denied. Sorry. But I shall save and try. I had to try. Because
A new ship.
doesn't it look like you could do it?
Freighters.
You are. I don't know why. Does anyone else do this? I feel like if I like move my body, then in the game I'll jump higher. And I understand that's not how it works, but I do feel that. And I realize that. And I also feel like sometimes if I move my body to like peek around a corner, then I will be able to see around the corner better, which is also not true. But those are things that I think.
You'll get in trouble.
No,
I mean, Trooper, if you want to validate my sideman says Yenta and Odious, I'm all for it. When you try your best and don't succeed, they learn their lesson from those stupid Death Star platforms that never had headrests. Well, that's true. Hey, I duck in the car when we're going under low ceilings. Me too. So, like, I just feel like sometimes it probably works. Okay, my friends, I'm off to work out. Oh, please enjoy your workout. Oh, wait, what are you doing for your workout? Because that's how we fight aging. Yes. Speaking of which, I need to get back into my weightlifting, because Lauren Danger is correct. That is how you fight aging. And yes. Pandemic is hard. Also moving was hard. Right? That's what I'm saying. So I want to say this thing about, hey. Oh, workout, bike, push-up, stretches, squats, and swords. Nice. I do love a good push-up, but you knew I would. I actually was doing a thing with push-ups. Moving is hard, so I really do it. I was doing a thing with push-ups, and I actually did a thing with my shoulder because I was like doing 100 push-ups, and I was like so on it. It was super good. So okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you a marriage thing, and it's about the love and marriage, as it were, and a thing that makes me quarantined. A sprat was cited. I don't know, everybody. This feels. I'm just gonna. It feels sketch to me. But we're gonna take lunch. Oh, speaking of lunch, how am I doing in terms of my addiction? My temperament's not good, so that's fine. I think I'm hungry again. Well, look, here's the thing, everybody. You said don't take that get hungry all the time thing, but I'm doing it because this way I get rid of stuff in my inventory. Like if I have to eat or else I'll be at minuses, then that gives me an excuse to take things. Ooh, I will not steal things here because people are looking at me, but I want to. Yes. This I tell you, brother, you can't, that's true, you can't go without the other. Oh, hey, Mrs. Barentor, love, marriage, diamonds, Belgian congo, it all comes together. Yes, I had about a half hour of aerobics and lots of walking to my yoga. Yoga's so hard, I love it. I'm really happy with the results so far. Added on my yoga jan. Oh, you know, yoga is really good. Yoga kicks so much butt.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Me?
1,000,000-bit smile?
Yeah?
How'd you like to make it worth 10 million?
You sound like a con man. I'm gonna just walk over here for a moment and see what's happening over here, and I'm gonna ignore you, con man. I'll come back. We'll chat on the way back, but I'm not gonna talk to you right now. But I'm gonna take this spray. Order logic. You can't get healthy without having to do a full 2-minute body workout and weights. All things in balance, yeah. It's always better to sell stuff than to have to use them. Have you not figured out the theme of this game? Oh. That's probably true. Oh. Not open to the general public. What is this? Greatest Halcyon Insurance Group. Appointments available at our... Hey, are you noticing that none of these shops seem to be open? The sole letter in this mailbox is addressed to the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group's satellite office in Fallbrook on the planet Monarch. I feel weird about this. I have had a lot of couples evolve rights to get married, which I think that is true. You have. Okay, so here's what I wanted to say. This is like what I wanted to tell you about love and marriage. So I'm not going to get distracted. I mean, I am getting distracted. I'm clearly getting distracted.
Nothing ever happens around here.
Good for you. So this is what it was about.
Move along.
It's about two things. I want to steal it, but I won't. Did they take out insurance policies on the whole company workforce? Maybe. So, also, like, Auntie Cleo's Salon Club is... hi, everybody. I'm going to distract myself for one moment with a different topic. Cafe and diner. I don't know where you all lived, and I don't know, like, the level of, like, together, like, economic awesomeness of the places that where you lived. No, neighborhood style. I will find out. But I don't know if you've ever been to a mall that is dying, right? Because we had a mall in our neighborhood that was dying, where it was like this like big, huge mall that was clearly big at some point in time, maybe the 80s, who knows? But like now you would go through the mall and so many shops are like just empty or closed, and like you'd still have some, like there'd still be a reason to go to that mall. Probably, I don't know if this happens in the suburbs, but like we had in the city in Oakland, we had one, and like they would have like these like smaller shops, like this one, the Eastmont Mall had like incense shops and like nail shops and hair shops and things like that. But and like there was always McDonald's, of course, but like mostly like the bigger shops, like dollar stores would be there, something like that. But like the mall itself was full of a lot of empty spaces, and it was clearly not doing well. And this place we're at right now in Byzantium reminds me of that. When everything is closed, that's not great. It's not great. Oh, you have one, Coulter, you have one that's in their last grasp right now. Yeah. 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 Oh, Night in the Woods Mall vibes? Yeah. Yeah. I knew that it was a goner when Hot Topics and the mainstream jewelry stores. Yeah, once those things shut down and all you have are kind of like local businesses, that's hello?
Something on your mind?
We got nothing new. I think the vibe you're getting is intentional. Yeah. I'm supposed to talk to you.
Kid, you got presence.
Oh.
Natural magnetism. Know what I mean?
I like your hair. Also, I want to tell my chat about love and marriage. Whatever you're selling, I'm not buying.
There's those street smarts. Just the right amount of rough around the edges. Next time, we'll have you say that over the rim of a Trippa Stout. Product placement, baby. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation?
Ice Bunny says, I get way too aware of how my big body looks stupid when sporting, plus that there are people in gyms that make you feel bad for just trying to do something for you, plus trainers who think that being a mean shit is motivating people. I mean, don't go to those trainers and don't go to those gyms. Is it scary that all the people on the street are coming to surround you? Like, probably. You know, Ice Bunny, my favorite gym that I went to when I lived in Los Angeles was the World's Gym, and it was a bodybuilding gym. It was like a gym. It was basically a gym for bodybuilders. It was not a, like, Gold's is kind of like a mainstream gym now, and this was like a Little World's. It was very small. And the only people that went there were basically bodybuilders and like some other people. It was not very big. It was kind of small. And like my personal trainer was like a semi-pro bodybuilder. But the thing about that place that was great was that nobody judged you, and everybody just like nobody judged you no matter what you looked like when you were in that gym, because everybody was there to work out. Like nobody was there to look at anybody else, right? It was not a place. There was no juice bar. It really had no. It was very no frills, right? It just had some weights and cardio equipment, and I think it might have had. No, that was it. Like it wasn't like, whoa, fancy. It was just very, very functional and practical, and nobody judged you, and nobody was mean. So I would say maybe you have to find the right gym, is what I would say. Reasons used to go to the gym at 3 a.m. That's another good one, like go to the gym at 3 a.m. My favorite gym only had 3 people in it. There was this guy who thought light years measured time, and the guy who ran the gym who was super into rocks. Good time. Yeah, and I consider myself freelance.
Fresh, natural talent. I know it when I see it. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid.
No. Just tell me what you're offering.
I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star. And I think you got the chops.
Not so fast. First, we gotta talk about royalties.
Ooh, I like Ellie.
Let's just see where this audition goes.
Hey, Ellie. Thanks for looking out for me.
You ready for the chance of a lifetime?
Sure.
Terrific.
Sure.
We're holding auditions at the studio.
Okay.
Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Okay. Again, I have some questions, but we're gonna check it out. We're gonna see what's up. That's not the first time I've had bodybuilder gyms recommended versus the normal weight loss fitness gyms. Oh yeah, no, BP fandom. I would recommend. If you could find like a hardcore bodybuilder gym, actually anybody who, might feel nervous, I would say paradoxically.
According to local legend, if you walk around the orrery 3 times, your corporate rival will die of a paper cut.
Okay.
Think I'd get arrested if I climbed up on that to get a look at the gearings?
Nah, probably just shot.
Oh. Well, okay. Rocks keep you grounded. A true tool of iron, one of the better outcomes of the swole bros, yeah. This is either porn or they're going to grind you up into dust and snort you. Maybe both. Yeah, people have different kinks. Yeah, and that gym was really good. And it was also not particularly expensive. And it just like, it didn't have all the fancy things. There was no neon, and if you want that kind of thing, it just wasn't there. It just was like a kind of like a... It was really good, though. It was... I'm gonna... Look, there seem to be more people over here, so we're gonna go this way. Because this seems like, you know, also... Everything is shut down. But I need to tell you two things. Do not let me forget about the love and marriage or about the tweet thread. But this gym had... There are two things really cool about this gym I want to tell you. One, when you walked into the gym, on the wall, there were all these photographs of Mae West in the 50s. And 60s, like when she was doing her like cabaret shows, when she wasn't like a big film star at that point in time. She was like mostly doing like
Those wastrels
nightclub
in
acts.
Emerald Vale have all abandoned their work. Did you know? How typical.
And usually those small hardcore gyms will seriously help you do the machines weight correctly. Yes, they will, and then leave you to do it. They'll just leave you to do it, and you do it, and you're good. Beetlewind says, my favorite gym had a really grumpy cleaning lady who used to rule the place with an iron fist. That sounds the best. Anyone who went free and went into the free exercise hall with their shoes on was asking for death. But yeah, like so there were all these photographs of Mae West. Do you think I can just take these? I don't need them, but I can take them. And so I am going to. There's an Inferno Scythe. I don't even use melee weapons, but it's there. Rich people just leave weapons around. That's weird. Pardon the mess. We're getting a facelift. Bad vibes. Oh, but Nephilim, I've got to tell you the best part. First off, she's amazing. Love Mae West. But I've got to tell you the best part. But I've seen Perfect with Jamie Lee Curtis. How will I ever find a girlfriend if the gym isn't about being seen? Well, Vulpes, you know... I love the weapon store here. Ooh, I'll have to go check it out. PE should never have been a mandatory class in school. I disagree. Without all the BS that I experienced there, they made the girls from 6th to 9th grade show up from 3 to 5 p.m. for it, and the boys had it in the morning. I fall for Marilyn Monroe, but then again, I fall for so many old movie stars. The thing is, I did not necessarily have fun in gym either, but I don't think that there should never be PE, because I actually don't think that's necessarily healthy. Oh, Myrna Loy. Yeah. I think that it is important for people to have some sort of physical movement. And the thing about, the thing about gym, which can be done badly, I would say we just have to do it better, is that I just want to steal all that stuff. I won't, but I want to, but I won't. I'm going to behave myself. Also, this is also shut down. Like, this is like, By the way, we're going to just walk around this 3 times. We don't have a corporate rival, but we're just going to do it. See what happens. Yes. I think for people who do PE, discourage them from exercising later in life. But see, the thing is, Krellin, by that logic, people just shouldn't go to school at all. Because many kids don't want to go to school and they don't like it. They don't like to read. They don't like to write. They don't like to do math. They don't want to do a lot of things. And so if we said we should not force kids to do things they don't want to do, then we wouldn't teach them at all. And yeah, this place is, and I think about this a lot, right? Like, also, because high school is terrible and so are teenagers. Oh yeah. I learned I had more trauma being in classes than in PE. I learned by starting my quarantine yoga and now that aerobics and stuff that I don't hate movement and working out. I hate competition with other people and super aggressive tactics. Yeah. Odia says PE is also great energy bleed off, and a lot of folks who are kinetic learners need to move to keep at peak learning capability. And then it should not be graded. I got an F if I tried my best or did nothing. I suppose it could be pass, no pass. Gym and PE are difficult because a lot of teachers are stuck in the 70s attitude-wise, and B, kids are evil little shits. But kids can be really bad not in PE. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that PE was great, but also people were really awful in my non-PE classes as well. I didn't say it because they don't want to. Forcing people to do PE discourages them. Well, I would say, but by that logic, forcing people to do anything, right? Like, I mean, forcing people to go to school, forcing people to read, forcing people to do anything says, like, right? Then so then, if we don't force people, like, if we don't, like, you know, hey, you're a 5-year-old, you don't have to eat food if you don't want to. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to force you to go to school or learn to read or shower. I won't, you know, and I don't know if that's necessary because people, like, they're minors. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mrs. Barrington said, although my senior year, I hyperextended my knee and was in the low impact PE class because I needed a semester to graduate. I was in a class of folks who were differently abled and pregnant. Me and my bum knee were superstars that moment, yeah. I think PE in particular is a breeding ground for bullies and angry men who didn't become what they were told they should be. I mean, I got bullied everywhere. Trooper, Philosophy Tube has come out as a trans woman. What? 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 Oh my goodness. Also,
No one tells me how much interaction.
Jimquisition has come out as a non-binary femme. Don't let me forget. I need to go. I'm gonna forget. I have to pull up the tab. I have to pull up the tab because I will forget. I think that YouTube. Oh, I'm so excited. Where's Philosophy Tube? Ooh. Okay, I see it. Okay, I just loading up a tab, everybody. Loading up a tab. There's more. That's more reason to teach people to act like human beings, not to restrict PE. Yeah. I would like to see more options taught for non-competitive movement being taught. Yeah. I mean, when I was in PE, I got to do running. I got to do a bunch of basically when I was in high school, we rotated things. And so I did a lot of running. I did a lot of non-competitive stuff, movement, which was pretty good. The problem with PE in the UK, Beetle ones, that's interesting, at least, is it still has trappings of colonial bullshit stuck in it. See, this is one of the problems that we often do these things poorly. So it's less about teaching kids to enjoy exercise and more about teaching them a sport because they don't like it. Yeah. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, she's Abigail. Oh, nice. That sort of don't dress that way argument. PE shouldn't be stopped because children are awful. Children should be brought up to be less awful. And there should be more protection against bullying. Well, I don't know what your PE was like, Trooper, but mine was the entire class being punished because it took me 20 minutes to finish them out. Yeah, no, we didn't do that. The entire class was really punished for failure in other classes. Yeah, no, we did not do that in our PE. And that sounds like we really need to do PE. Like, PE is not basic training. Not basic training. Should not be treated like basic training. And people should be trained better. Like, we should not have bad PE. Like, that's what I would say. No bad PE.
The chairman shot their space shuttle down with the Hammersmith grenade launcher. Incredible.
What?
Are you two talking about the new Dissident Hunter adaptation? Don't spoil it. I'm behind.
You need to watch more Aetherwave. You never know what's going on.
I gotta say, I very much enjoyed learning different sports, and I know the rules of everything. It was helpful at tech since I worked in the gym as a reference. Yeah, like I think that if we did gym, I'm not saying that we can't do gym better because I really, really think that we can do gym way better than we're currently doing it. Do you think there are two different ways to go? This way looks well lit with broad stairs that seems welcoming and inviting, and this way seems dark and sketchy. So let's go up the dark and sketchy way. Team building and socialization is hard. If it's not PE, it's high competition academic courses. Yeah, that's where I had a lot of bullying. If it's not that, it's something else. I wasn't bullied though, even though I was a choir and drama kid. Well, sometimes collective punishment does work. It depends on the context. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not necessarily advocating it, but it depends on what it is you want that collective punishment to do. Sometimes it does things that you want it to do. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends. A lot of things depend on your pedagogy and what your. Oh, I was going to say this looks nice, but it looks brown and a little gross. Our PE teacher used to go on about how exercise and fitness makes us more moral people. No, that's bad. Then he got arrested for embezzling a ski trip money. Yeah, like those things are bad. But I will say that there have been studies that have shown that rich people water is brown because they add gold to it. I hope that's what it is. Man, this place looks not great. But there has been studies that shown that not having PE causes kids with ADHD not to do very well in school, and a bunch of other kids who are kinetic learners, and leads to people who are in that cell to have poor educational outcomes, and also disciplinary problems. So it's like not necessarily, hello, great, but how we do it, I think, to Yes and Krellin is often really bad. So, like you're asking me if I'll get all these products, but all of your stores are closed. So how am I supposed to buy all these fancy products that you think that I should buy if all of your stores are closed?
Why do you think I've been avoiding the estate district?
Isn't that your beat?
Gold is non-reactive.
Was. I sent Rogers.
No wonder gold prices are tanking. The value's been watered down. Wah, wah. Yeah, so like I have mixed feelings about it, right? Because I think like, I mean, in the same way, like I think we do history really badly in high school. I mean, like some people do it well, but often we don't do it well. I just think we do history so poorly. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't. And like sometimes what we do is sketch, but I still think we should do history. Hey, there's a. I just want to steal the things, but I won't. Also, there's a ladder. Let's just go down the ladder, everybody. I don't know where we're gonna go or why, but we're in. I hope we don't get. There is garbage in this water. A lot of garbage. Do they not know you're not supposed to litter? Ooh. We're gonna just take all that.
Nimble fingers, Captain.
Thanks again. Be subtle. Poor teaching is an excuse to cut the course. It's a reason to improve the teaching. Yeah, that's what I think, right? I think we have to figure out how to just do this better, basically. And again, remember, like it's not like I had the best time in PE ever, but we're gonna just go here and see what I don't know. We're gonna find out. One person's garbage is another person's. Oh, uh-oh. Are we in trouble? Okay, well, hey, it's the minister's estate key. We're gonna just, hey.
How'd you do that so fast?
We're breaking into a house. Surprise, we're breaking into a house, everybody. Yay, breaking into a house. My history teacher was not a trained history teacher. Why waste one? Who knows? Yeah. So I just. But to finish the thought, can I tell you? Oh, well, here we go, everybody. We're gonna just walk. I don't know where we're going at this moment. And the City in the Stars. Speak to Minister Clark. Speak to the minister's guards. Well, we're just going in there. We're gonna try to find the minister, clearly, right? That's what we're doing. We're just hold on a second. How am I supposed to get stuff for Parvati? How am I supposed to get fancy clothes for Parvati if all the stores are shut down? That seems real bad. Love and marriage, yes, thank you. I have a friend who is so poor with history, they thought Pearl Harbor was a retaliation for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Ooh, yeah. But you know what? Remember, that might not have been their fault.
Soldier.
Hi. Yes? Okay, we're gonna go. Okay. We're gonna just try to, be here and not be caught. We're losing. Okay, we're walking. Gun down. Thank you. Okay, we're getting farther away. We need to go to our map. Okay. All right, everybody. Yes, also I should save. We should also clearly save. Okay, we might need
Name game.
to go to the elevator. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fana, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't a name that I can't rhyme. Critch twitch, critch twitch, critch twitch, bo bit twitch, banana, fana, fo fit twitch, fee, fi, mo mit twitch. Crit twitch, thank you for that resub, Crit Twitch. How are you? Prax said something. Prax said, also, don't necessarily blame the teacher for bad history, because I can state that students can tell you stupid stuff even after attempting to teach them. And also, I'm going to save. At least they got them the same. It's true, they got them the same or. No, he's an idiot. Beautifully what a person, but a mental brick. Sneak. Yeah. I'm going to do all of that. But I have to get out and here. Okay. Ooh, hello. I think a lot about how people make fun of, let's say, Americans for love and marriage, for not, I don't know if sneaking, oh gosh. All right. Hello, how are you? I'm gonna go here. Can I get through here? I cannot. Okay, we gotta walk this way.
What?
Nothing?
Hey, soldier.
Yep.
You can't just wander around the minister's residence.
Really?
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing? Love and marriage. Love and marriage. Sisters in England. In the UK. Basically, people are like, oh, Americans are so dumb. They can't find a rock on a map. Right? That kind of a thing. But, you know, when I was in high school, we never talked about Iraq because Iraq's in the Middle East, and we didn't talk about the Middle East once we got out of ancient Rome. You know what I mean? Like, we learned about ancient Greece, but we never learned about contemporary Greece. Our maps of that area were always ancient maps of the area, and once we left the ancient world, you know, we did, like, the Tigris-Euphrates Valley. And then we're like, oh, Greece, Egypt, Rome, and then we just moved off to Western Europe, and we just, there were just a bunch of stuff we never learned because we never did. And I remember looking at in history class, looking at the map, and I raised my hand because I was that student. I would raise hands and ask questions that probably the teacher just didn't want to hear. But my question was, hey, there's this thing on the map called the Ottoman Empire. It looks really big, so it's probably important. Are we going to learn anything about that at some point in time? Like, are we going to learn, because all of a sudden in the middle of class, it just happened to be on our map. We never talked about how it got there or what it was about or what was going on with that. And she said, yeah, we just don't have time to talk about the Ottoman Empire. So I feel like it's not particularly fair to judge Americans for not knowing certain things if we never get taught it, in the same way that I have yet to find a UK-based friend who did not study history in university who knows pretty much anything about the British Empire. And when I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, we just didn't study it. And so, like, if you're never taught it at all, if it's not part of your curriculum, that means the only way to learn about it is if you learn about it on your own, which, by the way, I read up on the Ottoman Empire. I was like, let me find out about this. But a lot of people don't have time, or they have really hard jobs. It makes them exhausted. You know, it's just that I just feel like sometimes our education in various places are and it's not the teachers, it's often the curriculum itself. So I try not to be super judgy when people don't know things when I realize it's a structural problem. And like, again, most of my UK friends know nothing about the American Revolution. And I remember saying, like, you don't know anything about the American Revolution? They're like, well, not everything's about the United States. You know, I was like, yeah, I know. It's just that you were in it. You were involved. My French friends, they do know about the American Revolution, which I thought was interesting. Partly because the American Revolution was important for the French Revolution, et cetera, and the French were really important. The American Revolution, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that, like, you know, it's just what that is. It's just what it is. Europeans are so dumb, they can't find Wyoming on a map. Yeah, why can't you find Wyoming on a map, Europeans? No, I'm not. After Egypt, yeah, the Middle East just disappears for the growth of, yeah. Greece stopped existing after no more Greece. And I was like, are we gonna
name game
Turkey? Anything? We're gonna talk about it. Bill of the Forest. Oh, Bill of the Forest. Oh. Bill, first off, I love you. Secondly, I love that your first name starts with a B, and I think you all know why. When I was a kid in 4th grade, we had school TV for high schoolers and watch. Okay, UK history is basically Romans, 1066, Henry VIII, the first king of England, World War I, World War II, the Cold War. Boom, yeah. And in U.S. history, you never heard anything about China and its history. We got a week in. But Bill, I'm going to sing for you, but I want to get caught up in chat. We actually got a week on China, a week on India. We got a week on the entire history of China. We got that in a week. The entire history of India, we got that in a week. And I don't think we got Japan when the West came there with guns, like to open up the trade routes. So we got a little bit of Japan, but not a lot. And usually only when we threatened them, but it was framed as like as if it were a good thing. And then I think we got South America for 1 week. And so that's I think that's what we got. And like a large proportion of UK kids are Indian or Pakistani or Bangladeshi origin, and you'd think there'd be stuff about that region in their curriculum. And nope, nothing unless it has to do with the empire. Yeah. I bet they did know a lot of British umpires. Ooh, hey UK people, do you have umpires in the UK? Or are they called different things? Because for me, I think umpires are like baseball, right? Like for me, umpires are baseball, but referees. So like, do you have umpires? Because are there sports besides baseball that have umpires? Because football has referees, right? Same thing with American football. Like, are there umpires in other sports? This is the thing I do not know. The French won the U.S. War of Independence. We were the Afghanistan. My apologies to all the 10 people living in Wyoming. Egypt's Africa, not the Middle East. Tiny. That's tricky. Ice Bunny, that's tricky because there's a region that is called. One of my colleagues studies Tunisia, which is in Africa, but it is part of. There's a. What's it called? There is a phrase that is used to describe North Africa and the Middle East as a region together, like basically the Islamic world. And I cannot remember. Oh gosh, and I know this. I know this because what is it called? I know this because of the fact that at my school, we have a Middle Eastern music ensemble. We have a bunch of world music ensembles. And it was called the Middle Eastern Music Ensemble, but they changed the name because that isn't actually accurate because they're also doing North African Arabic music. Oh no. I wish my colleague were here in chat so he could tell me what the name for that region is. There's like a lot of stuff about it. Anyway. Is it the former caliphate? MENA is an English language acronym for the Middle East. Yeah, it might be MENA, but it might be maybe the Maghreb, maybe. The lack of education of those places is probably why, when the book and TV series came out for Shogun, it was gobbled up like candy. Yeah. Umpires are for cricket and tennis. If we did not have umpires, it would not be cricket, which is probably why baseball has umpires. The British invented umpires. A lot of history classes in high school at least focus on how did our country get here aspect. That seems to explain why we all do a bit of the classical world, a bit of white Europe, and then your respective country. Yeah. North Africa, right? But there are terms. Eurovision. The fact that they have lots of East Asian students is more the reason why they would not want to teach about them. Yeah, that's fair. The Moorish region, Baldric was how World War I started. I heard that it started when a bloke called Archie Duke shot an ostrich because he was hungry. Yep, that's right. The Maghreb or Maghreb is a region of North Africa. The term refers to the 5 North African nations of Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, Mauritius, and Libya. Yes. Yes. Ice Bunny, my point is, I'm telling you, if you are an Arabic studies major, you don't just do the Middle East, you also do North Africa, the Maghreb. So there is a term for that, for the former caliphate, right? So for the Maghreb and the Middle East, there is a term that people use to describe that whole area. But thank you, Odious. Greater Middle East might be it. Yes. Though Maghreb was the west, meaning North Africa, west of Egypt. Yes. Yeah. Egypt is often aligned with the Arab countries due to shared cultural and economic interaction. But Iran often sometimes thinks that it's not because, right? Hey, Artie. Mashriq for the East. And most people do not define North Africa and Ethiopia as not African for the purposes of African studies. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, it's tricky because I think there's newer African studies that's actually sort of being more broad. Cultures, that entire area is a melting pot of culture, and this is true. By the way, we're going to persuade our way out of this.
I'm watching for suspicious activity.
Really? So what's so suspicious about a fellow UDL guard calling on the minister?
Well, when you put it that way. Look, I don't have any visitors on file today, UDL related or otherwise. I won't report this, but you need to leave.
Fair enough. Okay, so what I need to do is figure out how to get to the next floor. Countries can belong to multiple geographic and cultural classifications, and few are truly wrong. Oh, yeah. And of course, the same thing with regions. Like, I always think it's really funny that when people say the Pacific Northwest, they don't include California, even though Northern California is really the Pacific Northwest. When they say the Southwest, they also don't mean California, even though Southern California is also the Southwest. Like, I think it's interesting that also when people say the East Coast, they don't mean North and South Carolina or Georgia or Florida. They only mean the North, right? And I think it's interesting how or they say the South, but they don't mean Florida, even though Florida's in the South, right? So like how we define regions, I find really fascinating. So I just want to there's an elevator, right? There's an elevator. And I feel like I am not finding the location it's probably here. We're just going to get in this. Okay, corporate guard. How are you?
Promotion coming.
Cool.
I can feel it.
Nice. I'm going to open this door. That's great. This is, I want to rob all the things here, but I'm not going to because I don't have time. I just need to find a way to get to the upper floor before I probably should have talked to guards. If I talked to guards, they probably would have told me how to, hi, what?
I don't know what you're up to, soldier.
Yeah, what?
But you'd better have a good reason for
I
being
have a
here.
great reason. Did I tell you I'm really good at persuading people? Did I tell you that? I'm really good at it. Yeah, California is California, just like Texas is Texas, not part of anything else. But of course, it means that like we're clearly like making exceptions in our regions. Yeah. Love and marriage. Love and marriage.
What are you talking about? I'm just doing my job.
That makes two of us. Please don't make this hard on me.
Fine, but you'd better get out of here.
Cool.
If I catch you again, it'll be a different story.
Great. That's awesome. All right, this is what happened. So, we have sort of put love and marriage together, right? I want all of you all. Although it has a lot of humidity. I'm sure someone does, although everyone going on the past year suddenly makes that tougher. I mean, people clearly want to go to Florida for the winter. Look, so we conflate, I'm going to say it right now while this person's looking at me. We conflate love and marriage, and we put them together as if you're married, you must be in love. If you're in love, you must be married, right? Those are the things that we sort of do. And I feel like that's problematic on multiple levels. One, because a lot of people get married when they're not actually in love. They just have pants feelings, and then they get divorced 2 years later. So that's not great. But also, so my parents did not, and when I say my parents, I mean my mom and my stepdad, they did not get married for a really long time. And I was in high school at some point in time, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, like y'all aren't married. And they're like, oh yeah, no, we're married. I was like, what? When did you get married? And they had got a civil ceremony at one point in time during lunch or whatever. Like, I think they when both my parents were working downtown San Francisco at one point in time, they just like took their lunch break and went and got married, but they never told us about it. And I thought they were still not married because they were not married for most of my life as a kid, but they got married, and they only got married for one reason. They didn't get married because they loved each other, which they did. They got married because my dad's work changed their rules, and I would no longer be able to qualify for being on his health insurance because I was not biologically his, and they weren't married. So the only reason why they actually got married was so that I could keep having health insurance as a kid. But they were like, whatever, that's like, they're like, we don't need that to prove our relationship. But here's the thing. Greater and lesser, more tightly defined regional and cultural definitions, geographical classifications. Oh yeah. So remember when gay people wanted to get married and people were like, no, you can't get married. You should never get married because if you get married, we'll destroy marriage. And my religion says you can't get married. And people were like, yeah, but I just want to get a civil ceremony. I want to get married through the state. Like, I don't want to get married in your church. I just want to get married. And people were like, no, everyone was freaking out about it. And what they said was like, okay, the compromise is you can have a domestic partnership, but you still can't get married because that's just too special. And so then you get this sort of the domestic partnership. So there was a story, a court case that happened, and it was in the UK. And it made me think a lot about love and marriage. So there were these two women, and they were sisters, and they were like mega old. They were like, I don't know, in their 80s, 90s, something like that. Anyway, there were these two sisters, and they lived together, and they'd lived together for like 40 years. Basically, one of them bought an apartment in London, like right after World War II, when it was like super dirt cheap. And they both lived in this apartment all their lives. That's what they did. And because they didn't get married, they were sisters, they lived together. And the one who owned the apartment, the one who owned the flat was the older one, and she was sick and dying. And the thing is, the other sister, who was also super old, when the elder sister died, the younger sister would inherit the flat, but flat apartments have gone up quite a lot in London from post-World War II. And the younger sister, who was also in her 80s, would not be able to afford the inheritance tax because they were not rich people. They were just like little old ladies. She would not be able to afford the inheritance tax being a person who just inherits property like that. And she would be basically kicked out on the street. And she wanted to die in this apartment that she lived in her whole life with her sister. But she would not be able to because they were sisters. And what happened was they wanted to register as domestic partners, because if they were domestic partners, then the sister could inherit the apartment from the other sister without having to pay all those taxes. Like the same with married people. And so they wanted to register as domestic partners because they'd been domestic partners for like 50 years or whatever. And the British government said, no, you can't register as domestic partners because domestic partnership is only for romantic relationships. And yours is not a romantic relationship, so it doesn't count. And I believe they sued and went to the European the EU court. I don't think they won though. I don't think they did. And I thought about that a lot. Like that reading that, my heart went out to those women and those sisters, and I felt really badly for them. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. Why should marriage or domestic partnership, sorry, pause, rewind. There's a film, Green Card, which was originally a Canadian film, and it was remade as a romantic comedy with Gerard Depardieu and that woman with the frizzy black hair and the kind of square jaw, who's not really popular anymore. You saw it. Yeah. I can't remember her name. Where like she marries him. Andie MacDowell. Thank you. Time of Gifts. Thank you to Andie MacDowell. Where he marries her. They get married so he can get a green card, right? And in the process of that, they fall in love, but they have to go through the test to find out if there's a real relationship. And they ask all these questions like, okay, well, what side of the bed does she sleep on? And what type of toothpaste? And then like one of them forgets what the type of toothpaste is. So like, oh, this is not a real relationship. And then they kick him out. And I remember finding that really upsetting because who says that in order to be married legitimately, you have to sleep in the same bed? Because you don't have to. Or who says you have to even know what their like, there are all these ideas of like what a real marriage would be, which is all tied into a bunch of things. And I just feel like this is why you should have joint ownership on the flat before they died. That's true, Prax. Yeah. Rissa says, yeah, Stacy and I have talked about buying a place together, and we'll have to talk to a lawyer about making sure that if something happens to one of us, the other isn't put in a bad position since we're not a couple. Yeah. There's a similar movie with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. And I just feel like, personally, I don't care if you're in a romantic relationship or not. Like, if we're going to have marriage at all, which we can have a whole nother conversation about that one. But if we're going to have it, then I feel like we should ponder what marriage is, right? In the sense of like, hey, welcome back, Atomica. If marriage is a tax and social institution as much as a religious one, then marriage needs to be available for all. Yeah, totally. I wonder how many of them really cared about the religious aspect, or if they were just using it as an excuse for bigotry and prejudice. Well, yeah. Yeah, as I am, I feel the same. I would hate if my mom and her wife could not get married. Like, and also, if they don't want to get married, don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, buffet Christians only take the parts that for their prejudice. Yeah. So, for me, we don't use the same brand of toothpaste all the time. We've been married for 18 years. Like, right. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, why would you? I wouldn't really consider them Christians them myself. Well, they seem to, well, I'm not gonna identify other people for them. You know what I mean? From a purely selfish standpoint, I need there to be at least joy. Yes. But I mean, for me, I think what I think about is, this is my opinion, and you all can have different feelings. I'm also not going to click this because I know then my timer's going to go and I'm going to have to move. There are like a gazillion different rights you get for being married. Like there are a bunch of different things you get for being married, like legal things. And what I would want is that we as a society go through all of those 100 and something things and decide, does this really need to be attached to marriage or not? And if it doesn't actually need to be attached to marriage, we just take it out. And then what I would do is I'd make that list. I'd have a big list, like a checkbox sheet, a sheet with checkboxes with all the things that we decided this is what happens when you are in a domestic partnership, or things that can be available to you. For example, joint ownership of property, visitation in hospital rights, child rearing, like sharing credit ratings, whatever it is, that all the things that we put down under marriage, that we decide in the end are things we want to sort of count. And then you have this big checkbox. And then if somebody wants to enter in a domestic partnership with somebody else or multiple people, I don't care, you fill out that form and you decide which of those checkboxes you want to share with that other person. And it might be all of them, or none of them, or some of them. Maybe you want that person to have, like, visitation rights with you in the hospital if you're unconscious, but you don't want to share credit ratings with them. And that seems like it should be fine. And what if you want to share child rearing stuff with this person, but with this other person, you want to do other things? Like, I just don't see why we need to make relationships based on romance and sex to count. I just feel like, because what if you're like romantically and sexually involved with somebody, but you don't live together and you don't, you know, you're just doing your thing. Like, I just feel like we can maybe disentangle those things and just be more thoughtful about how those things go together. And then if you want to put them together, you can, so they're a la carte. If you don't, you don't. If you want to put some together, and people who are not like romantically attached to each other can still have, or sexually attached to each other, can still form domestic partnerships and have that be recognized. And if you want to have thruples, that's cool too. Like, I just feel like we could do it in a, you know, in a way, like in a different way. That's all. I heard about 2 old hetero guys in the US got married for inheritance purposes. Sure, but so Mrs. Burt, so you're saying I should buy into the silver name meme. Sir, when is your anniversary? I have no idea. Court determined that you are indeed married. It doesn't have to infringe on religious, it doesn't have to infringe on religious notions of marriage, because it's not as if it is also not as if there's only one religious idea of marriage. There are many different religions in the world. There's not just one. There are many, many different ones, and they all have different ideas of marriage. So, you know. Rissa says, I think all the legal stuff should be for everyone. Game. Religions can marry who they want, but it shouldn't have anything to do with the legal benefits of marriage. Then again, I'm very big on the separation of church and state. Yeah. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first 2 letters are ever the same, I drop them both, then say the name. I like Bob, Bob, drop the B's, Bo, or Fred, Fred, drop the F's, for Red, or Mary, Mary, drop the M's, Mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Bill of Forest, Bill of Forest, Bill of Forest, Bill of the Forest, banana, fanna, Phil of the Forest, fee, fi, Mill of the Forest. Bill of the Forest. You thought I forgot you, but I didn't. Heresy Bob, Heresy Bob, Heresy Bob, Bo, Bersy Bob, banana, fantasy, fo, Pharisee Bob, fee, fi, mo, mercy Bob. Heresy Bob. Thank you both for those resubs. I did not forget you, Bill of Forest. I did not forget you. Thank you. On a point of tax law in Ireland, so likely in UK, if a person who inherits a dwelling can show that that is already their principal private residence and they have lived there for 5 years before inheriting, they get a 90% deduction on the taxable value of inheritance. Oh, that's really good time of gifts. Artie says, it sounds kind of like the people that try and gatekeep women from nerdy, geeky things by asking them random questions. Yeah. Ice Bunny says, I would like the diamonds without having a man chained to it that I have to pay for to get rid of instead of just more diamonds. Also, what about the people that are asexual or aromantic? Right, exactly. Like, if an asexual or aromantic person wants to be... Well, there are 2 things, though, about that, Artie Snack. And one is that asexual and aromantic people have gotten married from the beginning of time. Because, especially in the modern day, no one's going to check to prove. And that's the thing I think that really gets me the most about it. I think that's the thing that gets me. There are people who get married all the time who are not in sexual or romantic relationships. It's just that they're heterosexual. So people are like, oh, that's fine. And they're both from the same nationality. But the minute you are, you know what I mean? Like the minute you're like siblings or parent, like older parent and adult child, or one of you is international, all of a sudden then we get all in your business. And I don't like it. I don't like it. My opinion on marriage has always been, when death do us part was invented, life expectancy was 30. Mrs. Barrington says, hey, however you get your jewels, I'm down with that. Mae West also. It's just that my entire business industry hinges on people buying, inheriting, or otherwise owning jewelry. Yes. Yay. Grinny says, hello there, Trooper. And chat, I see him in time for name game. I sure do. Grinny Weasley. Grinny Mike. Grinny. Odia says, I like marriage as a stability construct and as a family raising tool. Domestic partnerships based on platonic love or pooling of assets should also be approved as long as it can be proven to be a valid social link, which for most folks looking for this, I doubt is an issue. Yeah, and it's also interesting though, because I think about this idea that marriage is a stability construct as a family raising tool, except that for a lot of time periods, that's not what it was, right? It was just basically
Name game.
property. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like I wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. Then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Grinny Weasley, Grinny Weasley, Grinny Weasley, but Brinny Weasley, banana, fan, for Frinny Weasley, fee, fi, mo, Grinny Weasley. Grinny Weasley. Chili's been started. Yeah, and I think about the ways in which in a lot of cultures, marriages isn't what raises children, but villages are what raise children. Like you raise children collectively. It's like your grandparents, your great grandparents, the larger community, right? So, and also marriage has just been so different over time. Like what it is now is nothing like what it was 100 years ago. Like the institution of marriage has changed so much over time, and sometimes it's about control. Sometimes it's about inheritance. Sometimes, Grinny, we do have donuts for sub badges now. And that was all Jer who did all of that. And it was so good. It was so good. If we don't have new humans on the planet, it may not, that may not be the best ever. Yeah, it is a tool. Yeah, it is a tool. And I feel like it's a tool that, you should use if it is meaningful and important to do. Do you know what I mean? Also, resume. Why are you not letting me do what I want? Well, I want this one. Well, fine. We'll just do that. Okay, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna just go this way. We're gonna go this way. Yeah, it's a tool, and I just feel like it should be a flexible tool so that people can do because here's the thing, I just want people to do what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? Okay, ooh, there's a lot of stuff in there that I could steal. I can't do it right now. I can't do all the stealing. Nope, wrong button. I just need to go in an elevator, everybody. This is all okay, we're gonna go up the stairs. This is it. We're going up the stairwell. That's it. We're just going up a stairwell because there's stuff that I want to steal, but I don't have time. People are going to talk to me, and I just ran out of space.
Hold it right.
Hi.
That's it.
What?
You've got to the count of 3 to explain yourself.
Yep.
1.
Slow down.
2.
Slow down.
Violence is part of the job description.
Just relax.
Pal.
Just relax. Jared gives all the donuts. So anyway, that's all I was thinking about love and marriage, that I just feel like we should I think we can agree children usually benefit from not being raised by soul care providers, marriages, villages, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's good for kids to have lots of people around them, right? Yeah. Yes. But it might not be a marriage. It could let me put it this way. Better to have a single parent than a nuclear family that is abusive and hates you. You know what I mean? That's not great. So basically what you need is you need multiple perspectives of people, preferably multiple ages, and people who care about you and love you. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Grinny says, I dislike tiny humans. I also dislike the idea of being tied down to one person currently. Right now, I can't even take care of myself. How the hell am I going to take care of other people? Grinny, if you were in a relationship with somebody, I would hope that it wasn't your job to be their mom, would be my hope. Because I feel like that's not a good relationship. Note. Again, usually, yes, usually. Totally agreed, ODS. Every once in a while, I come to this realization that Trooper has been playing this game since October 19, and I have no idea what's going on. So I'm generally just here for the conversation. Oh, we're trying to save the world. not PH's comment, re-persuade difficulty. Like he's made a beautiful lesbian couple and fought some lizards and decried capitalism. That's true. All those things are true. Note, wait. I missed it. I hope you noticed these. I did notice they're getting higher. I noticed. But luckily, I'm like, my persuasion's really good. So I can like persuade for a little while and then I'll probably have to switch over to not persuade. Try to use my persuade as long as I can. As long as I can. Nuclear families make me itchy and cause my hair to fall out. Yeah, and Odious, I'm agreeing with you as well. We are both in agreement, and I love it. Tiny humans, you find a way to make do. I will be glad when I can't afford children will be seen as a valid reason for not having them. How about you just don't want to have children? You know what I mean? Like, just, if you don't want to have children, no. Same in the world from In-Stage Capitalism. Origami says, having taken over a lot of the housekeeping and childcare after my parents divorced, my mom went back to work, I will say it's probably good to have help with those things if you can get it. Oh, yeah. Yes. Not having children should be a choice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like having children should be respected. Not having, but of course, and here's the thing. Truth of the matter is, women get pressured to have children more than men do. And women are seen as dysfunctional more than men are if they don't have children. And like, that's not cool, especially considering, you mean, like, it's not cool. There was a lull in new births this last year when a lot of folks thought it would be like blizzards where, yeah. Like, I feel like people should...
Wait, you're related?
Yeah, I'm the minister's cousin.
I didn't think he had any living family.
Yep.
I'll let this slide.
Thank you.
But this is the last time.
Thanks.
No one short of Chairman Rockwell himself is supposed to be here without prior approval.
Cool. I'm going to try to find him right now. We're going to just, okay. We're going to just try to go through this door right here.
Looking good, soldier.
Thank you. I'm feeling good. Looking good.
How did you get in here?
I'm here to talk to you. I just want to have a chat. How are you? Can we chat? Can we have a chat? Minister Clark, please?
You?
Yes?
You're not one of my guys.
I am not.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to talk to you.
Oh, my law. Captain, that's the minister.
Yeah?
Mr. Clark.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
I have no idea who this guy is.
So this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot,
No?
you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes.
Oh, no.
I'm not doing any more.
No, also I've never met you. I was in suspended animation. I have no idea who you are. I love the talks in here. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Devil Crayon. Thank you. But this goes back to something I think that Jer was alluding to in a moment, which I will get back to that. Not wanting to have, Ice Bunny says, not wanting kids give me a ton of heat, and a lot of new parents have kids as projects. But then some people have kids because they love them, Atomica says, I've been judged by my family all my life for not wanting kids. I'm the only male in my generation. Oh yeah, no, if you're the only male, yes, then men get it hardcore. So God forbid the family name dies with me, and that by the goddamn fates, a cursed bloodline dies with me. Oh, Atomica. Also, Atomica, this has nothing to do with you right now. Has nothing to do with you. I'm just saying, like, my last name in Meat Space is my mother's maiden name, or her unmarried name. That's probably a better way to phrase it, is my mother's unmaiden name. And I think I'm the only, well, both my parents are now dead, but my mom ended up taking my stepdad's last name, and my little sister, who my stepdad is my little sister's father, also had my stepdad's last name. So I was like the only one who had my last name. But I like my last name. I think it's cool. And I think it's cool that's my mom's maiden last name. And when I was in the army, this one guy, Long, who we called Elvis because his hair was super, super long, he was able to comb it to make it look like it was military regulations. But the minute he was out of uniform, his hair flopped down in a very gothy way. That's why we called him Elvis. But his last name was Long. And when he got married to Wilson, he took her last name because he was like, Long is the last name of my stepdad, who is a jerk, and I do not like him, and I do not want his last name. And I just feel like we could like mix things up a little bit, do whatever we want to do. We should be able to do what we want to do, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say we should be able to do what we want to do. Grinny says, lol, I know that, but honestly, I have a girlfriend, but she's more of a best friend to me, and she also lives in a different state, so she doesn't have to deal with all my bullshit. I'm just content with my life the way it is, train wreck and all. And that's good. We should be able to find ways to be happy that are our own. Don't leave me in suspense. Has a lot more. Okay, yes. lot more wait. Meaning in the out. Don't leave me in suspense. A lot more meaning in the Outer Worlds. Yes, PH. Odious, I'm on the other side. My clan has centuries of more work to do, and you gotta adopt or make babies to keep the great work going. Yeah, but I mean, and that's the thing. You do it. You can adopt. You can have babies or not. Like either one. Like what's ever up to you. BP is like, oh yeah, my family line dies with me. Yeah, my last name is a perfect first name. Thank you. Actually, my sister's had kids. I mean, but I don't. You know what? Whatever. I don't care about that stuff. In the sense of like, I don't care about last names. You know what I mean? For like whatever. The Tonga says, which by the way, so many of my female friends hate me so much because when I deal with kids, they think I'd make a great dad. Need to remind them that their crotch goblins have very quick return policy. I don't need to handle the broken condom for 16 years. They come back. Yeah, the Baron Tour knows the comeback military sneak. Oh yeah. You just comb your hair back just in the right way, then nobody knows that your hair is like super long. My last name for our branch ends with me. My father was the only boy, as am I. So let me be 100% honest with you and tell you that I thought you were a girl, and I'm so sorry. In Denmark, you get married and everyone keeps their last name. Oh, that's good. That's good. In a lot of countries, they do that. Verum says, I choose to change my name because I wanted to. Yes. All the options were on the table, and Verse and I both like me changing my name. I know we would have supported any... And see, that's the thing. For me, that's what it comes down to. Do you want to? If you want to, then yes. If you're pressured to, that's less cool, right? Like... You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people to do the thing that makes them happy. That's all. Mrs. Barentor did not change her name when she got married. Prelin says, there was a couple at my parents' church who, like, back in the 90s, both took the hyphenated version of their names when they were married. That's cool. Take my name and carry on our good work. Street urchin, one of my ancestors probably. So Mark Roth and Christy Jewell became Mark and Christy Jewell Roth. Oh, that's cool. They do that in a lot of countries, too. I legit sometimes type fucked up things to get Tripper to make that face as he reads it aloud. You know. Yeah, I just feel like we should, do the things. Oh. I was going to say something about, yes, the idea that people are like, oh, you'd make such a good dad, blah, 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 right? That one. Also, I do go by Mika at times, which does not help people think I'm not female if they don't know me. My in real life last name is stupid, so I don't mind it gone. And my first name, the tiny humans cannot say it, and grown-ups constantly misspell it. In fact, this is the closest to being called Mrs. Barentor as I've ever been. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, in Korea, that women don't take their husband's last names. People have different traditions there. I wanted to say that I get that all the time. Also, oh yeah, do you object to us calling you Mrs. Barentor? Because we will call you whatever you want. Because we are that way. What are you talking about? Why would I want something? Seems like we're getting off on the wrong foot, we're going to say.
Have I not made myself clear?
Yeah, but...
Slowly and loudly, Aloysius.
Yeah, I'm not advertising. No, I'm not advertising.
I said you may tell Charles to go fuck himself.
That's great. But calm down, I'm just here to ask you some questions.
Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team.
I am not.
That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident?
I'm just a bartender hacker.
But what are you doing here? How did you get in?
I just... Mrs. Barentor says, I wouldn't have picked it if I didn't like it. It was just a funny realization. Yeah. I also think about, like, we have, like, there's this really kind of funny thing that happens where people who are related to, like, the central person get these interesting names. Like there's like Random Mom, I think Random Tuesday's mom is Random Mom. And I think Muppet Aphrodite. No, her brother actually has a name. But sometimes it's like, like brother something or whatever. Yes. Let's see. Mr. Clark's so patient. Off the topic of names, you look very handsome today. Oh, thank you. Also, my niece is out of the tub, so I may be leaving. I love you too, Grinny. Always, yeah. I think people should be able to do what they want, whether that is marriage, dating, relationship, having children, or not, none of the above. Origami Shuriken says, I'm not super attached to my maiden name or my married name, but I didn't know what I wanted to change it to when I got divorced, so I left it as it is. In some of my film credits, they're hyphenated, and I actually think I like that best. Oh, that's cool. Strix Concert. Oh, yeah, that's a really good one. Strix Concert's a really good one. Baron Loomis says, in Puerto Rico, it's common to take your mother's last name and your father's last name, but the second to last name is what you commonly go by when you have two last names. That was confusing when I started working in retail. Oh yeah, Jackie Dash is Jackie Dad and Jackie Dash Kid Sister. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Rissa. Mom Frame. That's right, Mom Frame. Thank you. Weird thing with names, my super close friends call me Atomica. When people call me my real name, even at work, it still weirds me out from a, yeah. Momlin, yep. Like, I'm not quite sure if it's the same as dead name, but the feeling is, yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes, yeah. I get you. I'm here for the dimethyl sulfoxide.
Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up?
Like, we can have lots of conversations if you want.
Back to idiots.
No, come on.
I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I like your outfit.
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all then?
So I will point out, to sort of for some solidarity, a lot of people are like, oh, you'd make such a great dad. I was like, yeah, I would. That's true. I'd be a great dad. And people are like, well, then you should have kids. And I'm like, well, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, that is not under my control. Ice Bunny says, Trooper, kids often like the people who don't want kids a lot. And maybe that is because I don't know, my boss said that I have the gift to be on kids without losing grown-up status. Jackdaw, I always feel that somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Welcome in, Jackdaw. I know your name. PH, adopting kids as a single dude is not easy to do in the United States. Yes. That would probably not work. It's real hard to adopt kids in the US. I would not be a good candidate on paper. That is what I would say. Just because it would be a great XYZ doesn't mean I want to, and that should be enough. This is Rissa, my high school boyfriend's real name was Paul. He went by Monty for years before actually getting it changed. The only person who called him Paul was his mom. Yeah. Don't blame him. Paul's an awful name. Odious, just raise him like one of the old philosophy or martial arts masters. Choose an ideological successor. Yeah. I didn't think it would be, yeah, no, I mean, it's really, yeah. And there are probably some states where I might not even be legally allowed to adopt, is all I'm saying. We can borrow kids from people who got them, and the best thing is if well, actually, I don't mind kids at all. I think kids are great. I work with a guy named Paul. He makes me want to make creative use of a melon baller. Ooh. His best friend was a Michael, who went by his middle name because there were too many damn Michaels, yeah. Because that's the thing. It might not be possible it might be possible in some states, in some places, but Harris Bob says, not that hard. If you're dedicated and pass the foster designation, they will allow it. It's tricky. Because like, I know that like basically in some, I don't know if they've made it illegal to disallow queer people from adopting, but like I don't think I live in that state, so that's okay. But they're like, not everyone is legally allowed to adopt. Yeah. I once said that I unfortunately can't foretell if my hypothetical offspring would be great enough children to match my greatness as a father. The person I said that to has not told me that I would be a great dad since. Wizard Styles, you make me laugh. Artie says, especially given all the prejudices that you would have to get through. Yeah. Kids are great as long as they go home at the end of the day. I think kids are great. I go by a shortened version of my name by everyone that knows me. The only people that call me by my full name is my mother and some distant relatives that only talk to my mother, yeah. New Mexico, California, Massachusetts, Texas all allow it. Yeah, but then some states don't. Luckily, I don't live in those states because I don't want to live in a state where I'm going to fear for my life legally. I have records proving they've been hoarding dimethyl sulfoxide. They're not drugs or chemicals. If you haven't been ordering them, who has? Let's do that. Let's do that one.
Process of elimination. The only other person with access? Of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way.
What is going on? What is going on? Mrs. Barentor says, ODS says, none yet. I'll likely adopt within the next decade if I haven't bred. Mrs. Barentor says, now, this was 18 years ago, but my boss in Seattle and her husband spent years and a lot of money to adopt their daughter from China, and I knew another couple who fostered a baby and were this close to adoption when the biomom was able to take him back. Adoption is not easy or cheap. Also depends on how old. Like, if you want a baby, that's going to be super expensive. If you don't mind having a 10-year-old, right, that's different. Rissa says, mostly by my name, or Rissa. I always call you Rissa. But some of my family members think Chrissy is an acceptable substitute. Spoiler, it's not. No. I mean, especially not for our generation. You don't want to be like Chrissy from Three's Company. Come on now. I was a rarity, says Atomica. My dad got sole custody in the 80s. Oh, wow. Ooh. Atomica, I hope everything's okay, because that is a rarity. Things okay. And it usually means that, like, you know, BP says, in the US, if you have the money, you can adopt through the private system rather than the foster system. Ooh. Foster systems can take literal years from start to finish. Vulpus says, and sadly, there's a difference between allowing something and being able to easily go through the hoops. Yeah. It's a lot easier for men to adopt and get custody, which is good, right? Because equity, right? Equality. When you want a baby, you cannot be older than 30. Artie says, I think I'm referred to more by my screen name than my actual name these days. Yeah, see, Atomica, I was thinking we're probably at that level of not goodness in the 1980s if your dad got custody, because the 80s were not a very progressive time, as it's just the... I hope, are you okay? I hope you're okay. You mean Chairman Rockwell's locked you up in here?
You are a quick study,
Yeah,
indeed.
I know.
I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it.
Atomica says, the state trooper who found her car on the highway knew my dad and waited for her to cross state line before pulling her over. Auto kidnapping. I was like, too, wow. That is super intense. That is super, I suppose at least you were young enough that you weren't like, I assume you were not mega traumatized, because 2 years old is pretty young. But like, oof. Atomica, what state did you grow up in? What state are you from? You're from Massachusetts, right? Was this in Massachusetts? What do you think of Minister Clark's character model? I think his hair's really good. They rarely get this kind of hair texture. This kind of hair texture rarely looks good in video games. It usually looks real bad. But actually his hair texture is really, really good. I'm very impressed with that because that is not normally the case. That's what I'm going to tell you. I have more sympathy than anger for my mom. She wasn't well. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, no, because like, I'm just going to say there are a bunch of people whose hair is mostly black people whose hair is just really bad in video games for the most part. You're just like, well, let me just, then I'll have to deal with him. You expect me to believe that? Why would he go through all this trouble?
How should I know? I've been under house arrest for years. But there is a way to find out.
Yes.
And perhaps to set things right.
All right.
Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be
Name
doing it
game.
from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's quiet and still.
Believe me, things have
Schmelzer,
been off around here for a very,
I'm going to
very
sing
long
for you.
time.
They just have to stop
The
talking.
reckoning is most certainly due.
Schmelzer.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter.
Okay. Wizard Style says, that is kind of how my father got sole custody of me and my sister. My mother kidnapped my sister and took her to Wales with her boyfriend. Although my sister was told, I think...
Name game.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know what's happening right now. I'm just going to tell you. I think so. The kid was more emotional pressure. Oh yeah, that's terrible. We're gonna do a bunch of name games right now, and I'm gonna try to do this in a kind of a complicated way, off the top of my head, and I don't know if I can do it because Schmelze is German. So I'm gonna try to do the name game in German. Those are donuts falling into the cup, Rissa. Those are indeed donuts because I want a cup full of donuts. Okay, so, and this is gonna be wrong. Das Spiel? Das Spiel. Der Spiel? Das Spiel.
Name game.
You know what? I'm Bavarian. I'm just gonna say der Namenspiel. Hör zu, jeder. Hör zu, jeder. Lass uns spielen. Ich wette, ich kann eine, how do you say a rhyme? That's not a common vocabulary word. Ich wette, ich kann, German, wait. Rhyme. Do I even know the word rhyme? What if I knew the word rhyme when I lived in Germany, but I don't now? What if that's what happened? Hold on. Ich rette,
Name game.
Ich kann eine, his Deutsch, so Rhyme. Warte mal. Rhyme. Rhyme. Oh, come on. I hate when that happens. Ich wette, ich kann eine Rhyme machen von jeder Name. Die erste Buchstabe von das Name. Ich sehe es, wie es nicht wahr ist. Und dann ein B oder F oder M wird da sein. Und dann singe ich Bo plus ein B und dann sage ich den Namen und dann Banane, Ferne und Fo. Und dann sage ich den Namen mit einem F. Ganz simpel, ganz normal. Und dann eine Fi, Fa und eine Mo. Und dann sage ich diesen Namen nochmal mit einer M diesem Mal. Und dann es gibt keinen Namen, den ich nicht reimen kann. Schmelze, Bobelze, Banana, Fana, Fofelze, Fi, Fa, Momelze. Schmelze, I feel like you're all really worried about me right now, but that's cool. King Crimson, which is a great band, by the way. King Crimson, Bo, Bing Crimson, Banana, Fana, Fo, Fing Crimson, Fi, Fi, Mo, Ming Crimson. King Crimson, Pretzel, Bo, Pretzel, Banana, Fana, Fo, Fretzel, Fi, Fi, Mo, Retzel. Pretzel, Mindful Oblivion, Bo, Mindful Oblivion, Banana, Fana, Fo, Findful Oblivion, Fi, Fi, Mo, Einful Oblivion, Mindful Oblivion, Ganz einfach, ja, right? Ganz einfach, ja, right? Das Reimen, ja, der Reim, ooh, wait, oh, ooh, yeah, so, look, my German is something I learned on the streets in Bavaria, and Bavarians often swallowed their articles. So in German, right, you've got to do this whole like adjectival declension, right? So there's like indefinite and definite articles, like a apple versus the apple, a red apple, an apple, right? A red apple, the red apple. And in German, you have to know what the gender of the noun is, and then whether or not it's a definite or indefinite article. And that's going to change how you make the adjective. And then also if it's nominative, dative, or accusative, right? So if it's the subject, object, or genitive. And all of that is going to change how you put those things together, right? So, you know, der roten Apfel, is that my declination right? Versus like that's nominative, and then ich gebe den roten Apfel dem Mann, and then right, or dem think it's dem roten Apfel. And then if it's ein, so anyway, it's like there's just a lot going on there. And in order to do it right, you have to kind of know the articles. But the problem is that in Bavaria, they would often not actually give you the full article. So they would just be like, der rote Apfel. Der rote Apfel. Den roten Apfel. Dem roten Apfel. And then like, it's like ein roter Apfel. It's like all this business, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is, in Bavaria, they're just like the Apfel. Like they wouldn't say like der, die oder das Apfel. They just say the Apfel, the Mann, the Frau, the Auto, right? So like you, it's like really hard to know if that's like a der, die oder das when they just like swallow everything all the time. And that's where I grew up learning German in my 20s. And so it's like really hard. It's really hard to like figure out what was going on. Because like how to do my like I can speak my German, but my adjectival declensions are bad, people. They are bad. Because A, Bavarians swallow everything, and B, they never use the genitive case or the simple past. Like there's Bavarian grammar is just not the same as the rest of German grammar. And that has always been a thing, is what I'm trying to say. Atomic says, my mom was just unwell. My dad was a recruiter and worked long hours. She took that poorly. I was aware enough to remember her son, my stepbrother, macing my dad outside a restaurant after dinner before taking me. Ooh, wow. Oof. I had a weak relationship with her, but my dad always pushed me not to be angry with her and not to hold things against her. She always tried to convince me that my dad had millions of dollars hidden away so she wouldn't get it in the divorce, that she wouldn't have gotten it anyways due to aforementioned criminal reasons for divorce. Brighter note, I've been keeping up with my German lessons and I understood like 10% of that. Thank you. Like I'm working on it. I always wonder how American song lyrics flow when they're presented in other countries. If they flow or are a jarring mess compared to it depends. What you need is a professional translator, like who knows how to translate the spirit of the song, not just the meaning of the song. And that's like the art of poetic translation. Oh, you're welcome, Schmelzer. I did try. I'll get better when I think about it. So other articles, oh my. I will say this much about German F articles. If it may fit better if you sing it in Bayerisch. Oh, it might actually. Yes, I'm gonna get to a save point. Thank you. Der Apfel, ein roter Apfel, der rote Apfel, and then it's like des Apfel, der Apfel des Mannes. So like it's why is pizza female but egg male? No one knows. Because pizza's perfect like a woman, but eggs are messy like a man. Oh, thanks. Well, you know, because Wizard Styles, I lived in Bavaria. That's where I learned my Bavarian. My neighbor's son learned all his Japanese from a female tutor. When he went to Japan to work, it was quickly pointed out he was speaking in the feminine case. Yep. Most dialects grammar is not the same as proper German grammar. Yeah. They mumble half the words. To be fair, my German tutor told the class that Germans rarely use a genitive from, they use for them. Yeah, that's totally true. Basically, just never use the genitive. I never used the genitive when I was in Bavaria. Would never have said des Mannes, right? And would never, the Apfel des Mannes would never say that. The Apfel von dem Mann, but I would say, right? Que es más macho? Oh, Volpes. Point of order, Volpes. Point of order. I'm going to suspect that Volpes is referring to Laurie Anderson rather than a Saturday Night Live sketch, which makes Volpes awesome. Let's see. The HHC headquarters?
Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth.
Mm-hmm. It is Sharky's night. Yes. You would not say meine and grab the apple, maybe. Yeah, okay, I will say this in English. Let's focus. How do I get to the HHC headquarters?
Via the Acropolis District, of course.
Okay.
That's where the most important corporate and government facilities
are.
But only board employees are allowed into the district.
Okay.
There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street.
Yeah, I think we did a lot today, by the way.
There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but
okay.
I'm afraid I don't know specifics.
Right.
Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons.
Okay. The tunnels sound good. I prefer a quiet approach. I like tunnels.
You won't have much human company down there. Plenty of sprats and automechanicals, though.
We did. That's fine.
When you reach the
It's fine.
HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suite.
Oh, thanks.
Where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are.
Sketchy. All right. What used to be your office? Wait. How did you manage to hang on to your access card?
The board's lackeys are none too bright.
Okay.
I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look.
Do I want to know?
I merely hid it in a book.
Of course.
No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles.
Ice Bunny, yes. Yes, Ice Bunny. I will tell you that once I finish this conversation and get to my save point. Thanks for your help.
Wait.
What?
Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone.
Yes?
This is our chance.
For?
Please, take this and transmit it from his office.
Okay.
Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years.
All right.
He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate.
Okay.
But they need to know what's happening here.
Okay. All right. What's on the cartridge?
What isn't on it is the real question.
Oh, I do know how to say it, Ice Bunny, and I'll say it as soon as the conversation's over.
Internal messages, sustainability reports, and more. All
Okay.
exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't we do something our own selves?
It's worth a try, but the Earth Directorate still needs that message. We must hope for their intervention.
Okay, but how long will that take?
Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years.
Okay, well, long term.
Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean feat.
Well, it's something.
And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district.
Okay, sure. We're going to immediately save the game. And then we're gonna go to close talk is what we're gonna do right now. Okay, let me go to main menu. And yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, quick save. All right, so for those of you who are not native German speakers, Bavarian is its own dialect. Actually, there are a lot of dialects in German. They're all very cool. And the Bavarians have this one word that they always try to get people to say to kind of prove that you can't speak Bavarian. Like, like if you're like, oh, I'm from like Hamburg, and they'd be like, oh, can you say this name? And like, can you say this word? And people are like, oh, they can't say it. It's like, oh no, it's so terrible. And the word is squirrel's tail, like the tail of a squirrel, which I think in High German, it is a squirrel. In High German, I believe is an Einhornchen. I think that's, I only know the Bavarian. So I think it's an Einhornchen is the High German word for squirrel, and tail, there's a High German word for tail, which is, Einhörnchen, the tail for an Einhörnchen in High German is Schwanz. Thank you, Schwanz. Einhörnchenschwanz is squirrel's tail in High German, but I did not learn that word first. I learned the Bavarian word, which is Ohrkatzelschwof. So Ohrkatzelschwof is the Bavarian word for squirrel's tail. So instead of Einhornchen, you would say Ohrkatzel. So Ohrkatzel is the squirrel, and the Schwof is the tail. Yeah. The Einhörnchen would be the diminutive form. Eichhörnchen. Thank you. That's right. An Einhorn is the unicorn. Yes. So yeah, Ohrkatzelschwof is Bavarian for Eichhörnchenschwanz. Right. But I learned the Bavarian word first because I lived in Bavaria. So I just want to tell you this one really quick thing, and then we're gonna go. So when you get to a foreign country in the military, they give you like a 2-week course of like how not to be a jerk in that foreign country. And you learn a couple words here or there. And I think I took like one semester, like while I was there, I took my first time in Germany, I took one semester of German, basic German in like the little college class. And I learned a couple, like my German was not very good. I learned a couple of words here or there. And I would try to speak German with Germans, and they would never speak German with me because they all wanted to practice their English. It was terrible. And I remember this time, and this is just like an example. So like I was sitting there and a bunch of my friends, people were like talking in German, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense, because I learned like there's a word in German. It means nice. Nett, it means nice. And they were using the word a lot, and the context didn't make any sense. I was like, wait, you're going to the store nice? That doesn't make any sense. And I didn't realize that actually in Bavarian, the word nett is actually nicht. So it means not. So like, ich gehe nicht. Like I'm not going. Ich gehe nicht. It's supposed to be ich gehe nicht, right? So so I learned that one. Like I learned like it's just not the same. And you'd run a squirrel's tail together as one word with the gender of the last word to be the gender of the compound word. Yeah. The last time I heard this word 30 years ago, and it's such a hard time not to laugh. The first time I was, I'm gonna tell you, I was on the street late at night. It was like probably like a Friday or Saturday night. It was probably like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I was waiting for the tram to take me home. And I learned net in my beginner. Yeah, but it's not like a high German word. And so like I didn't realize they were actually using it in some other way. And so I'm standing there at the street corner waiting for the tram to come. And this super drunk Bavarian guy's like, oh, wann kommt denn der Schwalbe? And I was like, oh, hold on a second. I've been in Germany for a couple of months. Entschuldigen Sie bitte? Ja, wann kommt denn der Schwalbe? I was like, and he was saying, wann kommt die nächsten Straßenbahn? But he was not saying it in a way that I could understand at all. He was also a little drunk, but like it took me a while. It took me a while to actually, but I got it. Like I got it. And then I realized that like, instead of saying, gehen wir? So like, are we going? Shall we go? You'd say, gehen wir. So let's go, gehen wir. So machen wir das. So like, let's do that. Yeah, that's doing it. So I'm not going to do that. Right. So it's like, you just have to like just got to get what they're doing. Yeah. Also, there's a thing, written German and spoken German are quite different because they're just some things you just don't say, but you write down. And I think a great example of that is the simple past. So like we would say, I ate an apple yesterday. And there is a way to say that in German. You would say, ich aß einen Apfel. But I just don't think people ever say that, right? So they'd say, ich habe einen Apfel gegessen. Das sage ich. Ja, ich habe einen Apfel gegessen. So you'd say, I have eaten an apple, right? With this past perfect. You just don't use the simple past so much. I mean, I don't know if there might be some people who use the simple past. I don't know. And since I learned German through speaking and listening, that means my simple past is bad because there's so many irregular verbs. And so like my written German is not great. It takes a lot of time. I can read German, but it takes a lot of time for me to write German because it's so different. Bin ich nicht müde? Ja, was machst du denn? Machst du denn, nice bunny? Anyway, I loved living in Germany. I miss it. But let's talk about sex, baby. Did we get all of our topics? I feel like we did, right? No, there was one topic we didn't get. Wrapping it up. Yeah, I've got to get some food. Oh, the French don't tend to use the simple past either. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Because we use it in English. And I taught English in Germany. And it was really interesting because I had to teach the difference between how we use the simple past and the past perfect, because it's different. And right, like this week I have eaten 5 apples. We would say that because the week is not over yet and I might eat more apples. Last week I ate 5 apples. We use the simple past because that number will never change, right? Like that number is always the same. I go AFK, I come back to German, and then I find out we've been talking sex the entire time. Maybe. But then, now this is really, really interesting. I just want to say this because I'm going to go, but I have to share this. It's an interesting grammar thing, which I find fascinating. So German does not have a continuous form. English does, right? So I am walking is that's a continuous form. And we have that in English. You also have it in Spanish, but there isn't a continuous form verb-wise in German. The only French example I know is Rostan's play Cyrano de Bergerac. Oh, yeah, that's true. Simple past is much more common use in English versus most other languages. They focus on the imperfect and the perfect and the pluperfect. Yeah, the ing thing. Like we have that in English. Also, there's Spanish. I don't know if it's in French, but it's not in German. And you can explain if you're doing it this moment, you would use ing, like I am walking. I'm right now. I'm speaking with you. As opposed to I speak, right, which is just the simple present. But do you want to know what was really hard to teach? There is a thing that we can do in English. You can do in other things as well, other languages as well. And I'm sure Prax, because Prax knows Latin, could tell us really cool things about this. There's a thing you can do in English that has to do with causality that you can do because of the simple form. So in English, there's a difference between I was leaving when you came in, and I left when you came in. Those have different meanings, right? So I was leaving, I think in German you say like, ich war gerade beim Gehen, als du reinkam, right? So like when you say I was leaving when you came in, that means that I was on my way out and you happened to come in the process. But if I say I left when you came in, or I left when she came in, or I left when he came in, it sort of implies I left because they came in. And that is a thing that happens in our verb tenses. There's like an implication there. And if you don't have the ing form, it's a little bit hard to sort of like, also because that's like also in the past, like there's a lot going on there in the verb to like parse. And that was a little bit difficult to explain. The ing thing, the withering gerund, yes, as Patrick, practice, like I could give this entire lecture and have many times, imperfect versus perfect tense. Right, and like it does have meaning. Like it has meaning that if you don't have that verb tense, it doesn't necessarily always, you may not get some of those subtleties. In Finnish, we don't have future tense. Oh, that's interesting. There's a way to talk about the future, but we don't have a tense for it. Oh, that's interesting. I think we just use a compound verb, right? We use 4 o'clock, Rissa. So I'll be 4 o'clock. I think we just use will, we just use a compound, right? That's what we do. The other thing I want to say, and then, do you want to know? So there's a thing that we do in English that gets really complicated if you want to get into it. So there's a I killed someone, right? I killed someone versus I had someone killed, right? If I say I had someone killed, that means I didn't do it. But, I told someone to do it. So, like, I killed someone, past tense. I had someone killed. But now when we start getting to conditionals, like, so, next week I will have someone killed. I will have someone killed. That's true. But by this time next week, I will have had someone killed, which means that sometime between now and next week, that person will be killed, but will already have been done by the time we get to the end of next week. So yes, so next week, by this time next week, I will have had someone killed. Yeah, right? Like that. So like we can get exciting in English grammar. We can get exciting. That is, yeah. Most English uses compounds because it's not an inflected language. Mm-hmm. There's a subcontractor for that. Yes. Call spoilers. You heard it here. Well, it might be. Oh, in Finnish you can't do that. Oh. look, I gotta go, but I gotta tell you, City of Light and Shadow people. Oh, let me tell you where you can find me. Hey, it's me. I've got a session 0 to get our we have 2 guest stars coming in up on, new guest stars coming up on, not this Friday, but the week after. So we've got 2 new guest stars for the week after. And so I've got to do a session 0 with them to sort of make their characters. You can find me, what day is it? Today is Saturday. Tomorrow, you can find me at 5 p.m. over at Cold Bold Press, where I'll be doing Into the Southlands. And then you should go and hit up Praxagor the Smophoria's channel at 8 p.m. over on her channel for Blue Rose, which she's doing. Very exciting. And then you can find me after that. Tuesday next week will be the last episode of Ghosts of Saltmaw at 8 p.m. over on Origami Shuriken's channel. Wednesday, oh goodness gracious. Wednesday at 8 p.m. over at Praxagor the Smophoria's channel. You can find me in The Witcher Road's Home, where I'm playing a character who has made some great decisions in his life. Great decisions. Real good decisions. Great decisions. And I feel like, don't you want to see how those great decisions are going to eventually bite him in the butt? Hardcore. Yeah. Yes. Trooper, stop plotting to kill characters. I'm not saying I'm plotting to kill the characters. I might just kill their hopes and dreams because that is a thing. That's a thing. Just gonna say it. Like, you know, there are a lot of nurses. Just saying that. Osterman's like more straightforward murders, really. The people who make the sandwiches at Subway are all the subcontractors. Passive. Perfect passive. You're confusing. Thank you. Perfect passive. I feel this is when clips happen. I know this is not. All I know is I'm not way too much of a professional, so anyone else kill for me. Luckily, I'm too lazy to put in the effort to murder anyone. Coldrake was like, did I miss the thing about the tweet? You did not miss the thing about the tweet, Coldrake. I will say that I have this thought. It's about history and queer history and women's history, like marginalized history, and how that if you are a student or if you're a marginalized person, you know, women, other kinds of marginalized people, your history is not told. And so people, if you want to be a historian of marginalized people whose histories are not told, you often develop a different way of understanding history than what is standard history. And I want to talk about that, but I don't have time right now. I'll talk about it later, about the ways in which you come to history slightly differently because you are represented in different ways or not at all. And so like there are slightly different understandings of history than what is like often taught in the academy, depending on who your professors are, of course, because it's now 2020, so you might get some of these different methodologies. They're like slightly different methodologies. And I was thinking a lot about that when it came to that one beautiful Twitter thread by this fellow whose grandparents were these 3 lesbians, and I think it's like his father might have been, or uncle might have been, was like, anyway, I want to talk about like sort of like marginalized historiography is what I want to do, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it later. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go. I'm going to try to figure out how to describe what we talked about today for the description of this VOD, and I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know. I'll make something up. It might not even be accurate. But I adore you all. I believe that Rissa, who's keeping me honest, already put in my social links. So if you want to, you can follow and subscribe here if you would like. It is appreciated. If you would like, you can also join our Discord. And Kolos Season 3 starts next Friday. And I'm so excited. We have a Patreon. And that Patreon helps go to support City of Light and Shadow. And I was able to bring the cast's pay up to $35 an episode, which is minimum wage, and federal minimum wage, not local. And this last season, thanks to all the help from the people who have been patrons and have given tips and bits. So I want to thank you with that. I also still pay myself. We broke even for season 2, which is really good. Well, more or less broke even. I mean, they're back end things that I do out of pocket, but right. And I am really excited about season 3. Season 3, people, I'm really excited. Episode 1, I will tell you because you're here with me right now, so I'll tell you. Episode 1 is Tango and Regina going to London. Because Tango's been recalled back to London, and there was some question about whether or not he would go, so Regina is going to take him to London. So it's going to be Regina and Tango in London, and in London, they have their friends Ophelia and also Jax. So we're going to get Pumpkinberry and Best Kind of Worst Marcus next Friday for that first sort of episode, and these 2 episodes are going to take place in the time skip, and then the week after is going to be Oscar and Sylvie being given a mission while the other 2 are away. And we have 2 guests also. And that's going to... Should I tell you who they are? Do you want to know? Should I tell you? I mean, I could tell you who the guests are if you wanted. I mean, if you don't want to know who the guests are, I won't tell you. But we're going to have a session 0 to make their characters. We are going to get... Love Laugh Lindy will be in as one of our agents, which I'm very excited about. And Paladin Hulk is the other. And I'm really excited to see him in 40 minutes for the... Oh, wait, what? Because see, actually, you went into the actor's nightmare, right? And then the other guest is Josh, Gaming FTL, who you know from Roll For It and also from the Stitch of Fate podcast, who plays Sean in Stitch of Fate and did bunches of stuff over on Roll For It back in the day. And so we're going to have Josh, who is being very kind to stay up pretty late as a UK person to come in with Love Laugh Lindy for a trip that is going to take them to Berlin. So episode 2 should see them going to Berlin. And then episode 3 will be the whole gang back together, starting after the time skip, I don't know, December 7th, probably around then, maybe December 6th, December 7th. Just got to check, we're going to start, episode 3, December 7th. Nothing important happens then. Yeah, so anyway, that's... we've got a lot going on. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm going to make, I have a webpage, a campaign website for the campaign. I'm going to have that, the link was given to the Patreons, but I'm going to post it in Discord right before we go live so you can see the webpage, which is very cool. It's not finished, but we're getting there. But that's it. I'm really excited. What? I didn't do anything. What? I didn't do anything. A baby's worth of time skip? No. We're only time skipping 3 months. So our Sylvie will still be pregnant. And I think she might just, should we probably like four or so months pregnant at that point in time? That's it. All right. I'm Prax, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what we're talking about, but we are going to raid because I want to do a raid. We are going to see who's up right now. Right now we have got, I want to raid somebody who could use the raid is what I want. And then I'm going to eat food, and I've got food just waiting for me, and I'm very excited about it. And then I'm going to do, I already planned my session 0. I have my agenda already ready. What am I going to eat? I'm going to eat some probably baked beans in a sandwich. No infamy involved at all. None at all. Oh, okay. I want to raid Fuzzy Freaks because I saw Fuzzy Freaks playing a character in Fate of the Anchorman, and I've seen her in 1 or 2 streams, and I think she's hilarious and amazing. So we're gonna raid Fuzzy Freaks because I think Fuzzy Freaks doesn't know me from Adam, but I think Fuzzy Freaks is super fun. So we're gonna raid Fuzzy Freaks, and then I'm going to eat. So please give Fuzzy Freaks some love. And yeah, Fuzzy's just so cool. Fuzzy's so cool. This is our raid command for those of y'all who are who got my pipe and let's go raid Fuzzy Freaks because Fuzzy Freaks is cool. That's what we're gonna do. Yes. And then we're gonna just give Fuzzy Freaks some love, and then I'm gonna eat, and that's it. And then maybe remind me next Saturday to talk about marginalized historiography, the history of marginalized people. Remind me next week. So I'll catch you on the flip side. You're all the best. Find me on Twitter at Academic Foxhole, Patreon at Academic Foxhole, YouTube at Trooper SJP, here at Trooper SJP. Join our Discord. That's it. Catch you on the flip side. Bye. Raid!